While the lockdown may have prevented us from getting packages from Japan, which ruined all my Christmas presents, it won't stop us from getting our packages to you.
Oh, there you go.
We're ships worldwide. Hello, everyone.
He made that up on the spot, by the way.
I did. I originally was like 3, 2, 1, go, and then I was like, I don't have anything on the top of my head, so I'm like, we need to think of one. We're coming at you again from another quarantine cast, let's call it, because we're back on lockdown. Because we live in a place where they need to go on lockdown. We're no New Zealand where we live, where they have already found... Well, but they've declared, we're good, we're free, we're good. And it's like, wow, we could have that as well. Yeah, we're the worst in Canada, which is saying something when we have half the population of some places in Canada. Oof. Anyways...
But a vaccine's coming.
Yes, and it'll be free, which is nice because, the entire notion that there's some countries, which will not be named, that you'll have to pay for it is buck wild. Because who needs it the most? The people who probably can't afford it. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but maybe that'd be a good idea. But what do you know? That's why we get called communists. Anyways,
we're also
it's been a little bit.
We're also like looking at each other right now.
Yeah, you got a webcam, I got a webcam, so we can actually see each other, which is nice because it helps to bring that gap back. Plus, now we can do the visual jokes.
Yeah,
even
right.
Though which we should never do on a podcast, but we will.
That's the part of the
because
charm
no one can
of the
stop
podcast.
us. Yeah, we gotta wait, there'll be silence, and then we'll laugh, and then we'll have to say, hey, we should explain this to the audience. That's what makes a good podcast.
I really don't like the lighting on my face. It makes me look too white.
Not much you can do about that, because you're probably looking at a white document, right?
I am, yeah.
You should get Flux installed on your computer.
What's
Do you have
Flux?
Flux?
No.
FL.ux, I think it is. It's basically...
You forbade me to
that?
type on the keyboard, so I can't look it up.
Yeah, because your mechanical keyboard is so loud. Thankfully, you can type quietly on your phone.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So, Flux is it's a program that basically, as the night comes, your computer naturally goes from white light to yellow light. And it's better for your eyes and also makes it, it's just real nice for not destroying your eyeballs.
That's what I have on my phone. It goes to, yellow light on at, 12.
It was a computer program first, and then later on, they added it to phones. But yeah, it's called Flux. It's really good unless you are an artist, because then you'll forget that you have Flux on, and you'll do some artwork trying to, doing colors, and then you turn Flux off, and then the colors will be,
oh, no.
wrong, right? So there's been times where people have they'll upload artwork to Twitter, they'll check their phone, and they'll be like, why does it look terrible on my phone? Well, it's because you used Flux, and so there's naturally a Vaseline filter on it, right? So it's one of those things that I had recommended to me in grade 8 by someone. And then I installed it then and never uninstalled it. So just whenever I use another computer, I'm like, this is weird. You don't have Flux?
It's like your weird obsession with dark mode.
Okay, no, but that's why I'm obsessed with dark mode. I hate bright colored screens now. I remember back in grade 7, I had a teacher who insisted we never use Google because it has a white background which uses more power.
Oh my God.
He wanted us to use Blackle, which is literally, and I saw you take a sip of that water. I'm like, that's a bad idea because I'm going to say the word Blackle. So Blackle is literally someone just stole Google's code, but did it with a black background. And ever since I've been like, yep, give me those nice dark backgrounds. It's totally real. He's showing it. Yeah, Blackle. It's literally just a Google with an all black background. And no, I didn't ask for Google.
It also looks like a gateway into the deep web.
It does for sure.
Anyways,
and now because I said the G word, every G device in my house is going off.
I have a story, right?
Okay.
I was watching YouTube in bed one night, right? And do you ever get the ad where it's like, "Hey Google, turn on the music in all my speakers in my house," right? And I'm like,
I've never got that as an ad.
Shit.
Yours literally, I saw it flash behind you.
Stop.
I literally saw it flash behind you. I love having cameras.
Well, I got that ad where it's like, it said that, and it's like, my Google...
That should be I thought there was rules against that.
Well,
I thought there was rules you can't say, "Hey Siri, search up big booty."
I think you have to like customize that. But
I guess so.
Anyways, it's the music started on my the one here, and then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. But then I remembered I gave my parents my Google Home Mini, right? Which is still under my... Oh my god, are you playing Tom with your Digimons?
One of them's dying right now because his room is full of poop.
Anyways, I gave my parents a Google Home Mini, right? And that was also on my network. So...
Oh,
when I went to their place next time, they were like, "Why? Do you know why like music was blaring out of it one morning?" And I had to tell them, and it was hilarious.
Yep, that happens. The whole network thing is like, it's great because everything is connected. I have 2 Digimon now, by the way, so that's why I'm like, I have another one here. Yeah, them being on a network is good and bad because, like, yeah, randomly, like one night, just all the lights turned on in our house, and because all our lights are connected to it, and that's when we realized we need to double check the security on that because I think, one of my parents in a kind of drunken stupor, or half awake stupor, said something like, "Turn on all the lights." Which literally meant the whole house lit back up at like 3 a.m. It was rough.
Oh my god. Anyways, so this podcast isn't really, it wasn't announced because we're kind of just in the ether right now.
We're literally rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
We're just seeing like, and we're not going to talk a ton about our weeks kind of outside of the gaming stuff, just because we have a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But like, for instance, I got a new, like, I thought I didn't have a job, and then I got a job, and then I thought that job went away, and then they're like, "Surprise, we need you again." And I'm like, okay, then I ended that, and then they're like, "Surprise, we need you for longer." And I'm like, sure, that's good for money, but
no free time.
I was thinking I'd have all December off, and it turns out now I'm working all the way up to like Friday, which is like right till pretty much the end, right till almost Christmas there, which is, I'm not complaining money-wise, but it, and plus it's not too bad. The schools are back on lockdown anyway, so I'm just all online.
That's pretty good
for me. I can listen to music. I can literally bring my Switch and Ring Fit, and every time the kids have a break, I just start working out in my room, which is, it's fun.
I also saw the video of you playing Ring Fit in class, and that was funny.
Because the teacher, it's like the teacher turns off the camera. What does he do in the room? Answer, plays Ring Fit, because what else is he gonna?
Yeah.
The fact that that is a portable workout machine is actually so cool. Like, I just put the ring con and the leg strap in my bag, bring it with my Switch with me to work. I have time to do it. I bust it out. I even showed the kids, and the kids are like, "Yeah, get fit." I'm like, "Yeah, I will." It's great.
I had to turn down my mic volume. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
I should have done this before we started, but it's been picking up a lot of background noise.
Your mic?
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe it's because I'm moving around.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know what? It's just something
part of the experience
to be accepted. Yes, it's podcasts are sort of like, it feels like you're in a room kind of with some bros listening to a conversation.
Yeah. But as long as you can hear me.
Let's just imagine that, the bros have a very squeaky chair.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. I mean, my chair sucks. This chair, like, you can probably hear that. It's real bad. I gotta oil it or something.
Yeah,
rub it down.
I'm glad I don't game in this chair anymore.
Oh, yeah?
My TV used to be right there on the wall, and I'm like, I'm kind of like uncomfortable in this chair all the time. Like, whenever I game, I'm like not wanting to because I'm always uncomfortable. So my roommate was like, "Oh, why don't you just bring all your gaming shit outside into the living room?" And I've been gaming on the couch, and it's like so nice. to return
There's
to couch
nothing
gaming.
better than being on the couch.
man.
Like
I love
that's like I love my computer, and I love the games I can play on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it is not on a couch means I naturally don't want to play it the same way as I would a console.
Yeah.
Like and God forbid it has mouse and keyboard controls, because that is the least comfortable type of playing method ever. I hate it. I love, like, give me the Wii remote and nunchuck. Like, that is peak comfy. You can just, like, if it's a game with pointing, you can just lay back and do it, you know. But it's like, I love it. I love the Wii.
The Joy-Cons.
What's that?
Even with the Joy-Cons.
See, but honestly, I'd rather use the Pro Controller, because I find the Pro Controller comfy.
I guess. But, like, I'm saying, like, you can do this, like...
I know you can do like the posing with it, but I feel like they're not big enough to be comfortable. The Wii remote is the perfect size where when it's in your hand, it feels like a remote, versus the Joy-Cons where I don't even have that big hands, but it feels like they get lost in my hands, even with the extenders, the little wrist strap things. Like it just feels like they get lost in my hands. I don't have a good grip on them.
The Wii remote also doesn't have drift, so.
Sure.
That's a big part of it.
I don't know. Have you ever tried to play a Wii game when there was bright sunlight hitting your sensor bar?
No.
That was more unplayable than drift.
Really?
I was trying to play through Okami once, and like the sun was just going through my window at the perfect angle to hit the sensor bar, and it just made that game utterly unplayable because you try to point and your cursor would be going nuts. Like it had no idea. And so
yeah, that problem.
I found worse. And like what am I gonna do? Move my entire window? It's like I can't do that. So
You can move
I basically had to like just play at different times.
You could have just moved the sensor bar.
In the space of my old house, there really was nowhere else for it. Plus, I was like a baby babu and probably couldn't move a giant friggin' CRT TV.
I thought you were gonna say like you couldn't move your sensor bar. I'm like that thing is light as a feather.
It was high up too. Like literally, it's like the top.
Like,
it was a
up?
CRT TV in the top corner of the room.
Oh, that must have sucked.
No, because I had a beanbag chair and I would just lean back and like chill out in it. It was quite Kino to play
Kino.
GameCube games on that, but at the same time, it's like yeah. Oh, and this was the TV that whenever I had a problem with it, like sometimes it would just stop displaying picture. Literally, the solution was hit the side of it as hard as you can go. And by George, it would work.
Nice. All right. Well, you want to talk about some video games?
Yeah, let's talk about what we've been playing, because there's kind of a big new console and a few other things that are pretty big that came out in the time between.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I just got a big news update regarding The Walking Dead.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Anyways, yes, a new console is out, and I got mine like 2 weeks after you did, a week. But I think we're both at the same like experience level now. Where we could
I haven't played it a ton, and what I have played on it, I'm still catching up on my PS4 backlog. So,
so like when I got it, like I was like worried about like the whole rest mode issue, the whole.
So I literally have never heard about the rest mode issue aside from you messaging me about it.
What?
I've seen no posts on Twitter, on social media, otherwise. Like, it's not like Joy-Con drift where it's like you do hear about that no matter where you go. I've literally never heard anyone talking about that.
The reason why I was so worried about it is because I went to my friend's house and that happened to him in person when I was there. So if this is like the first experience with the PlayStation 5 I'm having and it's doing this, I'm obviously going to be concerned about it. So that's why I didn't like put it in rest mode for like 2 weeks.
Mine, I've just been using it like my PS4 with rest mode, and I've never had an issue.
But yeah, well, now I'm doing that with my PS5, and it's like completely fine.
Yeah, it loads fast. It's nice.
Yeah, oh my god.
Press that button and go.
That's like with have you been playing Miles Morales?
I haven't been playing Miles Morales. I got back up to where I was in Spider-Man the original, but the remastered version. I couldn't transfer the save data because you actually need to pop in the original PS4 version and hit like an upload save data button.
Oh.
Like it in game. There's like a save data transfer. It's not like you can't just use the PS4 save data on the PS5 version. You have to physically like press a like triangle on the main menu where you're loading your data, and it'll say upload to the PS5 servers, and then you can pull that down. But like it took me like only a couple hours to get back to where I was in Spider-Man.
When I gave it to you for the foreign exchange, you didn't get very far, I don't think.
I played a couple hours on the stream, and then I played a little bit more off camera, but like not much. I'm already like way past that, especially because I turned on skip cutscenes, skip puzzles, skip QTEs. Like you can actually speed run that pretty fast just to catch back up.
Oh, I guess catching back.
And now that I'm like back in, I've turned that off. Aside from the QTE skip, because that one I don't like to mash the buttons, honestly, and like just let me hold it. It's much nicer.
Well, I'm just saying, why I brought up Miles is because I tried like the fast travel in that game, and it's like okay, I'll count to 3, but it doesn't even reach 3. It's like done in 2 seconds, and like the speed of the loading, it's like it makes a huge difference. There's like a bit of an issue I have, like, you know, on PS4 where it like tells you if the game is running, it has that little spinning thing beside it.
Oh yeah.
That it's nowhere on the PS5. So I'm like, is this game running? I have to like press start and see if it gives me the prompt of close game or not. But
yeah, or I just hit X and it'll load up instantly or not load up instantly. It'll either load me back in instantly or load up a new game instantly.
Yeah.
It's real fast.
It is. Also been Astro's Playroom. I 100% of that.
I haven't 100%ed it, but that game is...
That game's something else.
I want a game with that amount of love for every company that I love. And out of all the companies, like Sony's kind of down there for the ones that I really love, but this game makes me go like, yo, Sony though, they got some good stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, there is a bunch of stuff from every company that you wouldn't even think of.
Absolutely. I mean, you got like Konami in there, which is wild because they're kind of dead.
So
you got Konami and Kojima post-divorce in there, right? Like that's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Unless there was some sort of loophole they got through or something.
I think it literally is just the fact that Konami doesn't care at all. They were asked if they could include it, and they said, sure, whatever. We don't make games anymore, aside from PES Soccer.
Are you gonna get the next PES Soccer?
Do I look like a PES Soccer player? No.
I mean,
I'm not British for one.
Anyways, moving on to the controller.
Oh, the controller.
It's so good. It's
so good.
Even
just casually playing PS4 games with it, you're like, this is just a nicer feeling controller.
Yeah, it's like it just perfect form factor, and like the touchpad, like feel for some reason like the more like angle touchpad just feels more natural, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have anything to say on the PS5?
The only thing I'll say is that, like, I didn't expect the reactive triggers to be that big of a thing.
I completely
because,
forgot.
like, even playing Spider-Man Remastered, like, they put that in there, too.
Yeah, it's in Miles, too, like,
and
the
web swinging and stuff. The one thing I'll say, though, is I have a bit of what I'm going to call PS5 finger... where because you have to push them in harder, for example in Spider-Man with the web swinging, like there's resistance when you're regularly web swinging. I when I'm done a session, I'm like, my fingers are kind of a little bit more sore than usual, than even playing the PS4 version, just because when you do it, like, you have to press a bit harder. And for something like web swinging, where you are just thwip, 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 pressing over and over, you know, by the end you're like, oh, that's a bit more like it's a natural sort of makes me want to stop playing after a while, just because like my fingers are a bit sore.
Really?
Which is an interesting, because I feel like it's just like I feel it definitely in like the lower parts of my fingers, just from the like the pushing in all the time. So
I guess.
I don't know. That's just me though. Maybe.
Well, you don't have to push it down all the way. Like it, like I think it like the lighter you push it down, like the more or like the quicker it does, or maybe other way
Really?
around.
That might also only be in Miles Morales.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I know there's some differences that are in between them, that are, you know, a bit more. There's just a little bit of PS5 stuff in the remastered there. Like, yeah, there's a bit of reactive triggers. Every now and then the HD rumble gets put to use where like footsteps or for climbing up walls you'll like feel something, and it's like there's moments where like there's an earthquake happening, but it's like the first one and it's smaller and it like just shakes a little bit and you're like, yeah, like that feels, even just like not even fully implemented, that feels real good, that HD rumble.
Have you what mode are you playing in?
I was playing in the one that was 60 FPS, but I'm going to be changing it to one that's the 60 FPS plus ray tracing that they just added. Because for me, I need the 60 FPS. If it's an action game, I can't. It doesn't look right if it's not at the proper frame rate.
I started playing in the fidelity mode, and I'm like, oh, I love like how the way, like just how detailed everything looks, like how packed the streets are, and like how like it actually feels like New York City, with like how busy it is. But then I switched to the performance mode, 60 FPS, and it's like it's such a like how do I put it, like a feast for the eyes almost. And with the ray tracing added to it, it just makes it even better.
Oh yeah, like that's something that I'd like as a combo there with the ray tracing and 60. Like that in my eyes is what I wanted from that. So
Yeah,
I'm happy they added that as an option for sure.
but yeah, I don't think Miles Morales is as good as the original one, because it's maybe it's because I've been like playing it a bunch, then stopping for a bit and playing it a bunch. It just feels like more poorly paced type deal.
Okay.
And like the side events aren't as like engaging or whatever. But it's still pretty good. Like it's still feels amazing.
Nice.
And it's a good like stepping stone to the second one, which is gonna come out, obviously.
Yeah. This is definitely like just it was a early release kind of tech demo-y, but kind of just like, you know, we want to have something nice out for release, which is, hey, better than what we can say for Xbox. 0 exclusives, baby.
You know what else Xbox didn't get?
What's that?
Bug snacks.
I played a bit, but definitely like not anywhere near.
I've 100%ed it.
Like that was low on my priority list, honestly.
I've 100%ed it, so I'm
Wow,
a
really?
Bug snacks master.
That's wild, because I remember for a while you were like, I don't really care about Bug Snacks, and I was like, yo, Bug Snacks.
Well, it was
and
free, so I was like,
here we are.
might as
It
well
was
try
free, yeah,
and
which is really nice.
Well, but the thing is, like, there's like 6 different tools, and each tool like takes advantage of the adaptive triggers. Like, there's a camera, obviously, that like feels like you're actually taking a snapshot. There's like a laser pointer that like it vibrates.
I've used the laser pointer, yeah.
There's just the trap that like you can feel it springs up, like using the adaptive trigger. What else were there? And then just general like grappling hook and all that you have to press down for it to actually like hit. So, and also like when you catch a bug snack, it like goes into your controller and like yells at you, which is really nice.
Yeah. That's good. That's another thing. The speakers on the controller are a lot better, which is nice.
Incredibly.
They sound much better quality.
And there's like a microphone on it now.
Yes, for better and for worse, because when I played a few things in Astrobot's Playroom where it's like blow into it, there was one time where I was like, I'm doing it and it's not registering. I'm like,
Weird.
Why? So I had to like turn off the controller and turn it back on, and then it worked. I'm like, I have no clue why, but it eventually worked there. Also, you know, in COVID times, blowing into the controller makes you go,
Well, you're not going to give your controller COVID.
Well, no, but if like, let's talk about a time days before lockdown when I had my PS5 and you were like, hey, can I come over with a friend? Can we check out the PS5? Let's play Astrobot's Playroom. You grab that controller, you go into it, right? Then you pass and play. It's like, you know, like that's one thing where I mean, they obviously couldn't do that, but that's why instead I scream into it.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's all I've been really playing. I played a few PS4 games, that was another issue. There were like if you play PS4 games off or you play anything off the SSD, it can like brick the system.
Yeah, I've been doing that fine.
Yeah, it's been fine for me too. So
no issues. I got a 4 terabyte hard drive.
So do I.
I put on. I was like, because I remember with my PS5, I was like, man, or PS4, I was like, man, like it's 2 terabytes and it's full. Like I'm gonna like fill this thing up, and then I realized it's like, oh, that's because I just downloaded every single PS Plus game I ever.
Wait, you
like,
downloaded
got.
them?
Yeah.
You can just add them to the library.
Now I know. Once my PS4 filled up, I knew. But for a while I didn't know that. And then it was like, oh, like yeah, like I didn't fill it up that much. But then as time goes on, you know, if a PS4 game goes on sale, that's where I'll put it. I have a couple games I put on the ones that I know I'm going to be playing a bit and want that faster loading. I put actually onto the SSD instead, because like Monster Hunter and Street Fighter. Those with the improved load times, so much nicer.
I moved Persona 5 Royal over to the SSD because this was like before I was like wasn't sure to play stuff off the SSD because I was still a bit concerned about it. But
okay, no, SSD is the fast one.
I mean HDD, like there you go, the hard drive,
external, just the external drive, yeah.
And I played it and I like took a second, like why does this look better? And it like I think it like upreses the textures to 4K. For Persona 5 Royal.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it loads a lot.
When I play it, I might consider putting it onto there then.
Yeah, well, I think it also does it off the HDD, but I'm just saying like as an anecdotal thing I experienced.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Trying to think. Any other PS5 features? Is there anything you have problems with yet in terms of the whole experience? No. The only thing I'm having problems with is the controller charger. It's really finicky. Is it?
To actually like get it charging? Like you have to. The fit is really tight. Like because the way it works is like it's like the base and the arms coming down to the controller are on the same level. So, like, if there is a speck of dust that is raising the controllers, like the arms off the thing, then it won't charge, which is like, in my position for it, it's bad. If you can somehow manage to get it in like a perfect, there's nothing around it zone, it's fine. But it's like it doesn't really work when, you know, I have it on top of my fridge there, and sometimes I move it, and if it like hit a tiny bump, it's like no more charging, right? Because it's like literally sitting on it so perfectly. If it's slightly off, then it doesn't charge at all. Okay. Versus like, you know, my PS4 one where they sit kind of flat, so like they're gonna rest in how they're supposed to regardless. So just a little thing. It's not much.
Okay. Is your PS5 loud at all, or just when like start?
There was one time. It was, so, yeah, my PS5 has never been really loud, but I was playing Persona 3 yesterday. Sorry, Yakuza 3.
Okay, it was a Persona 3.
They're such similar games, obviously.
Of course.
No, Yakuza 3 yesterday. And when I was playing, I think it started to install, because Yakuza 3 and 4 are on the same disc. I think it was going to install Yakuza 4 while I was playing 3, and just there, it got, like, bass PS4 loud.
Really?
Like, I'm talking, like, jet engine loud. But after it said game installed, it was back to quiet.
Yeah. Well, mine does that when it starts up, like, from shutdown, I think. It spins because there's Miles Morales in there, so I think it just spins the disc really quickly and then stops. For some reason. So
I think that's probably what it is, yeah.
So, like, besides that, it's, like, crystal clear.
Yeah, besides that, it's quiet.
Yeah, which is awesome. I think that's it for PS5 stuff.
Enjoyable console. Very looking forward to playing some games that I still need to get around to, and even just picking up older ones, you know, playing them. It's quite nice.
You still got Game of the Year 2020 to get around to, so...
Shut your face. Best game direction, the one where they force their people to
talk about that later.
Die.
So we're going from powerful console to a very significantly less powerful console.
Yes, but powerful in the way of, hey, you can play this game on the toilet. That's powerful.
I don't know if that's considered as powerful.
It's powerful, but not in the same way.
Anyways, Hyrule Warriors came out.
Yes.
And holy shit.
So you're done it, right?
I finished it, yeah.
Okay.
Did you?
I just got... I'm going to use this loosely so people don't get spoiled. The second set of champions.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel that's still too much of a spoiler.
What's that?
I feel that's still too much of a spoiler, but...
No, because that means nothing to people who don't...
I guess that's fair.
Not really.
But...
Maybe I'm referring to new weapons for them. Well, you know what I'm referring to, at least.
I do.
Yeah.
It's...
So, I think we're going to save the spoiler talk till one after I beat it, for sure, because I haven't. I just got that, which I think is chapter 6. I'm pretty sure. How many chapters are there?
I don't know, but you're fairly near to, like, you're getting near the climax of the game.
That's what I thought.
But like
because there's not.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say because I saw that leaked character list, and I know how many characters are left, and it's not many. Mm-hmm. So.
But like to motivate you, like I gotta say, like there's a part in the game that starts till the end of the game. That's probably like some of my favorite Zelda stuff ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
In terms of like the pacing, in terms of the story, in terms of like what happens, it's just incredible.
I mean, overall, it's definitely a better game story-wise than the original Hyrule Warriors.
Bar none.
By far. Like it definitely feels like the old Hyrule Warriors follows the old Warriors formula, where this follows the new formula present in the last couple games, where it's less warriors and more source material, leading to a better story, more creative movesets, and, well, the argument of less content, there's still tons to get and do, which is, like, still really good. Like, yeah, there's not as much content in this as there was, I would say, base
not
Hyrule
even close.
Warriors. Yeah, well, no, but I'm saying, like, base launch Wii U Hyrule Warriors.
Yep.
Like, it's still less than that, I feel.
I'm like post-game, and there's a lot of post-game stuff. So
really?
I'd even say, like, this game has more content than base Hyrule Warriors 1.
And there's already been some data mines of at least 4 DLC characters, which are... I've seen them. They make absolute sense.
Plus, I've heard some rumors about some stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Which is quite, like, the stuff I've heard is quite interesting, so maybe we'll save that for spoiler talk, whatever.
I definitely, having played it, I want more, even as I'm still unlocking stuff, because it's really fun.
No, I think it's, like, better than the first one by, like, a long shot, I think. Just everything is,
I will say
improved.
Every character is fun to play, unlike the first one, because I didn't really like Darunia or Ruto at all to play as. And so when I got the similar Zoras and Gorons of this game, I was like, let's hope they're not the 2.0s of those. And by God, they're not.
Not even close.
They are so much better.
Yeah, I love Daruk's molten explosion things that attach at the end of the strong combos. Mm-hmm. Also, like...
Well, I like the one where you do, like, it's like a big spike coming out of the ground, and then you can do his roll, and you can roll off it like a ramp and slam down on them. That's pretty good. Yeah. Like, right away, I ended up getting attack speed +6 on Daruk, and just having him have that attack speed up, you're just, like, you go from, I'm slow but powerful, to, I am a tank just covered in oil. I will just destroy everything. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah. I feel like I don't want to talk much about post chapter 2 because there's so much like stuff that hasn't been revealed.
yeah,
like I'm
there's a
so
lot of
happy
definitely.
they didn't like reveal like anything about this game. So
There's a lot that they kept secret.
yeah,
For sure.
and like
Because, like, I mean, even, like, once you start getting into the meat of the game, you're getting characters that were never talked about. Like, at all. And, like, not really just secret. You're just like, oh, you're playable. Okay. You know? And so, yeah, it's like, and even just the way they pop up. Like, you just see the icons pop up on the menu, and you're like, oh, what's this face? Oh, you're this. Interesting. And then you keep going, and it's like, oh, you're a boss. That's cool. And then you go, oh, you're playable. All right, I got you. Nice, right? So it's like it adds up in a real cool way, and I do like that quite a bit.
yeah, just overall, it's an awesome game.
It is definitely a game that I would recommend to any Zelda fan. And even those who were a bit iffy on the original Breath of the Wild, which I think you're crazy for being, because I kind of love that game. But even if you are, it's still great for just as a Zelda experience, I feel.
Past that, I just started Final Fantasy VII again because of something we'll talk about
reasons
later on. But I mean, well, I forgot I named my characters like after birds, after video game birds, like Goose and Medley. So I'm like,
I didn't.
I don't want to play through the game with these
That's
names.
fair.
So I just named them like Cloud, like Barrett, and I think I just got
But here's the question. Aerith or Eris?
Aerith.
Okay. Because you know in the original PS1 version her name was Eris?
Really?
Yeah, and then every single release after that, she was Aerith, because that's what her name actually is supposed to be.
Oh.
It was mistranslated, but there are adamant defenders of Eris.
Aerith sounds
which
terrible.
I don't like as much.
No.
Right? Yeah, Aerith sounds so much nicer.
Yeah. I'm in the train right now. Like heading away from the reactor. Or like in the circle,
yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to like actually play this game now. For reasons. Not just for reasons, but like to actually like experience the game. Because
it's
despite
really
how old this game is, I know little to nothing about it.
It's wild because like even like I played through the remake and that only covers Midgar, which is a couple hours of the game, and it's like you're out of there and you're like, there's so much left and there's so much to it. And so it's like
I thought for so long Midgar was like the entire game. I didn't even know there was stuff outside of that.
I'm gonna say at most it's 15%.
Wow, is it like good stuff after? Because what I've seen is a field. If it's just all fields, I'm gonna be kind of disappointed.
It's not all fields.
Okay,
there's a lot of variety.
It's just so crazy. I have no idea what this game looks like past. Like
it's really good.
And then
I will say, like, when you get out the first time, you almost feel overwhelmed by the open world, and then you realize it's actually not. It's still pretty linear. Like, there's only so many places you can actually go every time you're in the field, so it's not super scary. Just go with it.
Do you think I should play the remake right after?
Are you okay?
Because I have the remake.
You complete. So I'm gonna say after you beat Final Fantasy VII, not after you get out of Midgar, you have to beat it.
Okay, yeah.
Because the remake expects you to beat it, and again, 7 is shorter than the remake.
That's interesting.
It is because I mean, dialogue in the remake, like there's cinematography versus here where you get a text bubble that's like a paragraph and then you hit X and there's another paragraph instantly.
Not even any voice acting. So
nope. So it's yeah, like it goes by quicker for story reasons for sure. But like you don't even have to grind, and it's like a nice experience to just go. It's
nice to have that like ×3 speed, just to get around so faster, and just to get the time. Or like in the mid battle, just to get the time back up, so you don't have to wait for like 10 seconds.
You also have the turn off encounters if you're like, I'm good.
Which one's that?
Just double both sticks at the same time.
And it doesn't disable trophies, does it?
Absolutely not, because I literally used the 3x speed and maxed out stuff to power level characters' limit breaks. because like when I beat the game, I never got their limit breaks leveled up, and there's trophies for each of them. And so to level up the limit breaks, it's either win fights or use the limit break, and your limit gauge charges very slowly, but you can max it out with the button. And so use the max out, you use them, and it's like you're good to go.
It doesn't
power leveling.
Like all these like cheats don't like take away from the experience, do they?
The only one I say would is the maxing out button.
Yeah,
like the one that gives you
I don't plan on
max
doing
HP, max. It gives you max HP, MP limit, money. Like it just turns everything 999. That one I say can ruin the experience because, now mind you, here's the thing: when you press the button off, everything goes back to normal instantly. Like you don't keep that money. Like you go back to what you had before. So if, like I've accidentally pressed it, you're good.
Okay.
You get stuff back. Like it goes back to how it was before. Unless it's mid-fight, in which case I think your limit stays maxed up.
Okay.
But then you use it and it's gone. But yeah, no, that's the one I say would. The 3 times speed improves the game, and the turning off encounters just makes it so that sometimes you're just like, because one of the problems is the backgrounds are sometimes tough to see what's going on, and sometimes you're like, where do I even go? And when that's going on, I just turn off encounters and just try to figure out where to go. Also, if you press the touchpad, I think it puts like fingers everywhere. And like they'll put a finger above Cloud to show where he is.
Oh yeah.
And little red arrows above the doors. I always keep that on just because I want to know what are doors.
Cool. And then finally, I've been watching some Brooklyn Nine-Nine on season 2.
Good show.
Have you seen it?
I've watched some. Yeah, it's great.
This is my first time watching it, so it's pretty. Some episodes are funnier than others, but
yeah,
there's like it's a really solid show so far.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those shows. It's like The Office, in which it's kind of a nice background comedy, but you can also sit down and enjoy its deeper plot lines.
I'm low-key happy The Office is leaving Netflix.
Oh, so you mean people will have to get a personality now?
That, and I don't have to hear the Office theme like every day anymore. Like my previous roommates had it on all the time, but now my current roommates have it
all the time.
I hear like do 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 do.
Oh, that would kill me. Like, I enjoyed that, but that would kill me.
I'm used to it.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
Well, as for moi, I played the PS5. I played a bit of, I picked up a little bit of, cause a little bit of hype, a little bit of just wanting to play it. Played a bit more Monster Hunter Iceborne. Man, that game's like riding a bike. You just don't forget, and it's quite nice. I played through the Mila Jovovich movie quest that makes you play as the actress from the Resident Evil movies,
yeah.
And she recorded her own dialogue. And let me tell you, if you think her acting is bad, wait till you hear her try and do JRPG grunts.
Oh no.
Oh boy. It's kind of weird though, because it is a sequel to the movie The Quest.
Really?
Yeah, and it just straight up has things that are like, I remember this from the movie, and it's like, I didn't know that was in the movie. Well, I'm very much looking forward to pirating that movie. It's not like I can go to theaters. But the game's really fun, and it's nice that everything's like, all the events are unlocked. So it's just like, hey, I want to go do the Resident Evil quest that I missed. I can just click it and do it. I want to go and get the full Dante armor set. I can just go and do it, right? So that's really nice. It definitely makes going through the game easier, because like I never beat the story of Iceborne, which like I watched Maximilian Dude video where he broke down like rating all the monsters in Monster Hunter, and he was going through, and I'm like, I've literally never seen some of these monsters. Like the ones that weren't advertised. I'm like, I don't know about this rock dragon. Like, what is this thing, right? So then I'm like, I better actually go and play through it. So I decided to do some of that before I realized, more importantly, because Yakuza 7 was on sale for Black Friday. I was like, I should. So I picked that up, but I'm still playing through Yakuza 3 there. Yeah, and then Yakuza 3 is the other one that I've been putting my time into, which is going from the PS4 games to this, which is ostensibly a PS2 game, has its ups and downs. One, when I was playing it, there was a moment where I'm like, man, this feels like a PS2 game. And I meant that in a good way. Do you know like the feel of like a good PS2 game where you're just like, it's kind of like a good PS2 action game and you're just like, this reminds you of like a simpler time in games. So I was enjoying that.
I'd say I relate that feeling more to PS1 games.
See, PS1 for me, it's PS1 is a very different feel than PS2. So if I'm saying it for PS1, I mean it differently. But at the same time, boy, some of those animations are bad. Like, they don't know how children move. The kids walk with their arms straight like this.
I'm sure that adds to the charm of the game, though.
It does and doesn't, because Kiryu is animated beautifully. like I'm talking, every movement that he does looks so perfect. And then you have any child, and mind you, the beginning of the game is about a bunch of children. So you see a lot of them as main characters, and they're just like straight arm walking fast, by the way. This isn't a slow walk. This is like going like Sonic Adventure 2 speed. Well, they are with straight arms, and so like it looks a bit jank. But I hear that 3 is kind of the low point of the series, but even still I'm enjoying it. So if this is the low point, then I'm happy to move on, right? Because like I'm still enjoying it there. And hey, they're now going to be all be on PC. So that is something that is nice to allow everyone to play through the whole series on one place if you don't want to play it on the console, even though I'm enjoying it on console. After that, yeah, I've been playing Age of Calamity. Like I said, I got up to chapter 6, enjoying it. Good game. Not much to say that you haven't. I have played through and beat, not completed, but beat Kingdom Hearts Memory of Melody. And I've never seen a music rhythm game be so lore important in any franchise.
Like, of course.
Like it is straight up a sequel to 3 that introduces new elements that made all of us freak the hell out, because I was recording commentary with Hellfire Comms for it. That is ridiculous. All I'm going to say is Disney was one side.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
There's another side. And you know what they say about the world? The world is square.
I don't know what that means at all.
It's so good.
I don't know what that means.
It's so good. It's so stupid. And it's like this amazing like drama at the end of the game. And then the fairy godmother from Cinderella is there. And like she's an important character. And she's like, oh dearie, what do you know about the door to darkness? It's like, what? It's so good. It's so good. Mickey's like, oh, we have to save blank who died. It's like, and they're talking... The words, they don't use the word fictional, but they use the term unreality. And they're like, we need to discover this world of unreality. One might say,
and this isn't a music game.
Well, yeah, it's in a music game because there's a story between the songs. But one might say a world of fantasy.
Oh, it's the Final Fantasy thing. I know that.
There's so yeah, but they start to go into it and they make you go, oh my god.
Is this actually the prequel to Final Fantasy 16?
No.
Okay.
But
I hate that there's a but.
It's actually the prequel to a game that never came out. Versus 13 lives on, baby.
Really?
Yes. There's more. There's so much more. Anyways, that's really good. I enjoyed that. I've been playing through Mischief Makers.
What's that?
Do you know about Mischief Makers?
I don't know
I'm
anything.
gonna show you because I have it right here. It's in my N64, which is right here. Mischief Makers.
Looks creepy.
What? It's not creepy. It's an anime girl on there, dude. It's a N60. It's called like the #1 hidden gem of the N64. It's like a 2D platformer, but the concept is you can pick stuff up and throw it and shake it, and it's just sort of fun ways you can deal with that. It's just a dang good classic platformer. The only problem is that to get a good ending, you need to get A ranks, which means you need to beat stages in about a minute.
Okay.
Stages usually take 3 to 4.
Speedrun.
So I have to go pro gamer speedrun mode to do these. Like I'm talking, and in a game about like grabbing and throwing, you have to do stuff like I'm going to grab this enemy, throw them at the ground, double jump through the air to grab another enemy, to throw them at the ground to get more height. It's like, oh, you feel like a god playing it. It's pretty fun. It's a good game. I was very lucky to find it on eBay for like $30, which this game is not one you get for that cheap. And it's unemulatable because it doesn't emulate well because of the 2D graphics on the N64. So the fact that I got a real copy makes me real happy. It's one of those bucket list games that I'm happy to get around to.
Cool.
And the last thing that I did was I finished Season 1 of Fate Collide Liner Prisma Ilia, which is the Magical Girl spin-off of Fate that is morally dubious. Boy, is it morally dubious.
Oh my God.
It has great moments, but it also has moments that make me wonder how much it would cost to install a lock on my door. Because if I were to be walked in while watching this, I wouldn't have an explanation. I would simply be kicked out. It's bad. It's bad for that. Like, unapologetically, which is bad. Because, like, they will... Like, here's the fact. The main character of Ilia, she's a girl from the proper Fate series. She is, in Fate, an adult. She doesn't look like it. That's because her body, like, literally, like, she's like a clone. They designed her to stop aging at a certain point, but she is an adult. In this one, they said, no, it's not enough to actually have her just look like a kid. She also has to actually be a kid still. And you're like, oh, that's not good. And especially with the stuff you're making. Oh, no, please, clothes on, no, oh. It's bad. But it's still enjoyable, which sucks. Because, like, I can't defend it.
Do you regret it?
Owning all 4 seasons on Blu-ray? Yeah. No, because at least, one, there are some freaking hype moments. Like, there is some real cool, good stuff in this. And 2, unlike every other Fate franchise, these ones' Blu-rays are only about $15, as opposed to the $250 you normally have to pay for the expensive big sets, because it's a different company that puts them out. So you know what? At the very least, it's not like I'm making a huge financial burden buying these. It's like...
Go ahead.
Huh? I was just gonna say, it's just like it. If I don't like it, it's the cost of a meal at Dairy Queen. So I'll make supper myself that day.
What was that? What I was just gonna say is, like, it's probably a good idea that we couldn't go to Animathon this year. You would have dropped another $500 on Fate.
No, but I probably wouldn't, because here's the thing. I bought all those now. all that big pile of them that I was gonna buy that came out to about $1,000 in the DVD section. I bought all them.
But
now.
It's scary how quickly you were to, like, bring them to the till.
Because I wanted them, and I didn't know that it would be like that. But you know what? It's okay, because now I'm at a point where my Fate is funding itself. So it's all
It's
good.
making a profit.
My numbers are so high ever since I moved over to daily Fate videos for a bit there. They are, like, it is good money.
That's good.
And it is both funding more gacha, but also more gacha merch. which gets me more views. Like, I basically made an infinite money machine.
That's fate, I guess.
That's fate.
That's
the
your
infinite
fate.
money machine
That's
for
your fate.
me and you. So, news time.
News.
The news.
So,
there's been
a lot has
a
happened.
bit, not a lot, but there's been a good amount with certain events that have happened. So
most of this stuff is like pretty recent. So
yeah,
I'm sure
like there wasn't much before that.
well, there's probably stuff here and there, but not as big as like what we got here.
Yeah. We mostly focused it on the important stuff here that we want to talk about. Like the Game Awards.
Game Awards happened.
So, I'm going to start by saying that I did not watch the Game Awards after a certain moment happened.
Stop talking for a second.
Okay. He's running away. Uh-oh. He's grabbing...
I can't find it.
He's grabbing a game case. I know exactly what the joke is going to be. I know
can't find it.
I know
Where is
exactly
it?
what your joke was going to be. Did you already sell it?
No, it's
Did
right
you
there.
already hate it so much? Oh, no, he found it. He's grabbing it. It's a case. He's pulling it up.
It's Game of the Year 2020, baby.
Game of the Year. Steel case for Final Fantasy VII Remake. No. See, it's a audio podcast. I could say that. No, yeah, wow.
Well, at least
Really, best action game, huh?
yeah, no, I didn't
That's
know.
the one
I
that
didn't
gets
agree with that one.
That's the one that gets
There's
me.
legit 3 hours of action in this game.
Yeah, so like okay, best accessibility.
No,
Understandable.
Of course.
The game has amazing accessibility
Yeah.
options. I'll even give like best. I don't know what else it got. It got a whole bunch, but like there's other ones that I give it. But best action game.
No. What else was
Really?
there?
I'm gonna take a look here.
Well, you can just go to the awards. Yeah, you do it because your keyboard's
Yeah, because my
quieter.
keyboard's nice and quiet. Complete list. Okay, let's see here. It won Game of the Year, which I you know what? That one, fine. But some of these other awards, I don't agree with. Game Direction.
Oh, no,
No.
absolutely not. That
No,
was
no,
obviously like, there's a little bit of influence there.
Narrative. You know, the thing that everyone says is the worst part of the game. Especially when 13 Sentinels is there, which I hear is amazing for story. And the Final Fantasy VII Remake, which defies the odds of what a remake should be. Holy crap, you're stupid.
But
might as well
Tanner,
just go through the awards
you
here.
can play as the villain. Look, she's on the other side of the case too.
Yeah, the villain that was so bad that her house got doxxed.
Yikes.
Oh, it sucks. Okay, let's just go through them. Most anticipated game was Elden Ring.
I would have
Sure.
gave it to Breath of the
there's-
Wild too. But that's bias.
There's not much. I mean, I would give it probably to Halo Infinite, honestly. Art direction, Ghost of Tsushima. That's a nice looking game. Sure. I would kind of have preferred Hades to win this, because I think Hades is a beautiful game with really nice designs. And I think, like, visually, Hades is amazing. So I personally thought that should have won that. This one I absolutely agree with. Score and music, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because I have never felt an emotional attachment to music in a game like the 7 Remake. There is some remixes in the remake that actually I had to pause and take a breath.
I played the 7 Remake demo when it came out, and the music that I was playing, I'm like, this is incredible. Like, this was giving me nostalgia I never had.
Right? They've captured that.
I don't know how they
And so, like,
do that.
There's even better songs as you get it.
I think it's because it's like we grew up in that era of time of the early like RPG stuff.
Yeah.
Like I personally didn't. I was more of a gamer, I guess. I mean like Western gamer. I never played any of the Eastern stuff, but like I think it's because of like our age that that weight is there behind it.
The one thing I disagree with is the fact that while they called it best score in music, never once did they say the names of the composers.
Nope.
I think that is a shame because like Seven's remake has a bunch of amazing composers behind it. I mean, you have Nobuo Uematsu, who's the original composer, and then you have all the remixers whose names I don't recognize off the top of my head, but they're also equally as valid, and it's like, why didn't you say that? It's a bit strange. Also, the fact it was in the pre-show along with all the other Japanese media. Makes you think. Audio design. The Last of Us Part 2.
I agree with that. The audio design in this game is incredible.
All right. Performance. Laura Bailey, Abby, The Last of Us Part 2.
She is.
Also on the docket for someone who could win, Ellie was also there. Ashley Johnson, The Last of Us Part 2.
I keep holding up the steel
on
book.
there twice. The other ones were Daisuke Tsuji for Jin, Logan Cunningham, Hades and Hades, and Naji Jertem, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Excuse me, no Barrett?
I have no comment.
No, Barrett is the best, and he is a street preacher in the remake. He's like, can't you tell me that the planet is crying out loud, Cloud? And Cloud's like, oh my god, who is this guy? It's so good, right? Yeah. Games for Impact. I've heard of none of these almost.
Really?
Tell Me Why was the winner. I don't know what that is.
I heard, I saw some reviews of that, and one of the reviews I read, I didn't read it, I just read maybe she mentioned it kind of didn't handle some themes right or well enough, so. Okay.
The other ones were If Found, I don't know what that is. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, I don't know what that is. Spiritfarer I know about.
Yeah, me too.
That's and then Through Darkest of Times, don't know what that is.
Neither.
Ongoing Game, No Man's Sky winner.
I think it deserves it.
Sure. You know what? It's come so far that I think that's it. It finally not only met where they said they would be, but they've now exceeded it. So I think that's pretty
and I like
cool.
how happy Sean was. He's like, it's usually Fortnite, but
yeah, surprisingly Fortnite didn't win because the other ones were Apex, Destiny, Call of Duty, Warzone, and Fortnite. Best indie game was won by Hades, so at least they won that one. Yeah. The other ones were Carrion, Fall Guys, Spelunky 2, and Spiritfarer.
I really need to get around to Hades, man. I hear it's incredible.
Me too. Debut indie game. This is interesting because I like this category idea. It's a new indie game from a studio that's never made a game before. So this is really getting the name out, which living up to the idea of indie a lot more, which I like. Winner was Phasmophobia, which as soon as I saw it go up there, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
What were the other ones?
Carrion, Mortal Shell, Raji, and Roki.
Yeah,
were the other ones.
My roommate tried a Mortal Shell and said it was kind of like a bad version of what was it? I can't remember, but
I don't even remember.
He just said he refunded it, so.
Let's see, what is this game? Mortal Shell. Oh, it looks like Dark Souls.
Oh, that's what he said it was. It was like a bad Dark Souls ripoff.
It looks exactly like Dark Souls in the screens, hilariously. Best mobile game was Among Us, which I can see that because honestly, one, it's it's free on mobile, which is great. But the fact that you can play with the console people, that's pretty cool. The other ones were Call of Duty Mobile. I didn't even know that existed.
I hear Call of Duty Mobile is amazing, and it's weird. Because it brings
Legend.
It brings together a bunch of Call of Duties. It's like Avengers for Call of Duties.
It's on mobile.
But apparently why
would you play a first-person shooter on mobile? The other ones were Legends of Runeterra. Don't even know what that is. Pokemon Cafe Mix. They really had nothing that no one. I don't know I didn't even download that, and I'm a Pokemon mark, so I don't know.
You're a what? Sorry.
Genshin Impact was there.
What did you say you were?
I'm a Pokemon mark.
What's a Pokemon mark?
I'm a mark for Pokemon.
I've never heard that phrase.
You put out any Pokemon content, I'm gonna slurp it up.
I know what the context was, but I just never heard that reference before.
Oh well, okay, well there you go. And then Genshin Impact was there. I know some people were happy that a gacha didn't win because they're like, ew, gacha. And I'm like, just honestly, don't be on a high ground. If you play, an MMO or you play a game with loot boxes. Gacha is just another example. It's like, it's whatever. Now this one's a bit controversial. Best community support.
I was so in disagreement with this.
Okay, because I want to hear your reason why, because I agree, actually. I agree that this should win. Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout was the winner. The other ones were Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Valorant. Who do you think should have won?
Fortnite.
Why?
Have you seen like how much like they added Kratos, they added Master Chief? Like
that's not community support. I feel community support directly deals with interacting directly with the community.
Wait, so who were the other ones?
Apex, Destiny 2, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, and Valorant.
I don't really have that much.
In terms of directly, like, here's the thing. For better or for worse, the only social media who will respond to you if you at him is the Fall Guys guy.
I guess.
Which, honestly, though, and I know some people think it's cringe, but the fact that there's a clear face to the community that you can turn to and ask questions to, I think that's the best community support. Like, for example, if I encountered a cheater in Fall Guys, I can just at the Fall Guys Twitter, and he'll be like, yeah, we'll look into it. Like, none of those would do that otherwise. And I think for me, that's why he deserved to win that.
Yeah, I guess I was looking at it at like the wrong angle, or in terms of just like how much content it was, like just how like the popularity, I guess. I was looking at it as like a popularity contest.
Yeah, so no, I was looking at it more like the term community support. Who supports the community the most?
Yeah, I agree then.
Yeah, right? VR, AR, I agree with this. Half-Life Alyx, because, yeah, that's incredible. The other ones were Dreams, Iron Man VR, Squadrons, Star Wars, and Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, which, I mean, out of all of those, I mean, I haven't played any of them myself, but rather, if you were to ask me which one I think did the most for VR, it would be Half-Life Alyx, because it is a full actual game in VR that, like, does a lot of cool stuff with it, you know, versus the other ones, which are a bit more middling for different reasons, you know. Innovations in accessibility.
I think we already talked about this one.
Last of Us won that one, yeah. Okay, no, I was wrong. Best action game winner was Hades, but best action adventure was The Last of Us Part 2. Why are they separate? I don't really know.
Also wouldn't say Last of Us is an adventure.
It's really not. The other ones for action game were Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, and Streets of Rage 4.
By the way, Doom Eternal got snubbed hard.
Yep.
So.
And then action adventure, Last of Us Part 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, that's not an action adventure. I think Ghost of Tsushima should have won that one. RPG, this is a very stacked category. Final Fantasy VII Remake won that one. Arguable about it being an RPG at all, though. But the other ones were Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Wasteland 3. Take a guess which of those I've never
one of those is not like the
anything
other.
About. I literally believe that Jeff was like, we need to put a Western thing in here. We need to. They're going to yell at us if we don't. Fighting game. This is weird. This is a strange category. Because you have Mortal Kombat 11, which won. What? Okay. You have Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is a really good game, and I think could have easily won. You have Street Fighter V Champion Edition, which technically isn't a game from this year. It's just a DLC update. You have One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, an absolutely shitty anime cash-in game. Like, even among people who like anime arena fighters, which are like the... No, it's bad.
Huh.
Dude, every character has an infinite.
Oh.
Like, every character, you can go, like, punch, crouch, and infinite, you win. Like, there's character, like, half the cast is banned online because you can just win instantly with half them.
Interesting.
And then, I don't know if it's a glitch, but both Under Night in Birth and Under Night in Birth EXE Late CLR is on here. I think only the EXE Late CLR was actually on there, but there's 2 Under Night in Births there, which also is just a re-release with a single character, so weird category. Mortal Kombat should not have won that. Game's bad. Family game, Animal Crossing won that one. Understandable.
Something.
It was up there for Game of the Year.
Should have won Game of the Year.
The other one, I think it could have.
I think it should
because
have.
Because it did a lot for people in quarantine. The other ones were Crash 4, It's About Time. That's not a family game. I don't think that's a family game.
I haven't played
Crash
it yet,
4?
so...
Crash 4 is so brutally difficult that you will lose your family.
But,
they will leave
but
you
funny
if it's a
spinning
family game.
raccoon man.
Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout, Mario Kart Live, Home Circuit.
It feels like a lot of these categories had like one spot left, and they were like, yeah, just throw it in.
Yeah. I don't even count that as a video game. I'm going to be honest. Mario Kart Live is a toy.
Yeah,
it is not a video
agree.
game. Like, you use the Switch to control it, but it's not a video game. Minecraft Dungeons, which I've only heard middling things about, and Paper Mario The Origami King, which I hear is actually really good. It's just too much stuff to play. Sim or strategy game was won by Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sure, alright, I'll take that. The other ones there were like XCOM, Gears Tactics. I don't even know what Crusader Kings or Desperados are. Best sports game was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Deserved. Better than Dirt, F1, FIFA, and NBA. Best multiplayer game was Among Us, which some contention about being technically up for... It's not a game from this year.
Well, no, they gave it like... They said prior to this, saying like, it basically didn't exist before this year,
so still some controversy for that. The other ones there were Animal Crossing, Warzone, Fall
Animal
Guys,
Crossing,
and Valorant.
Warzone.
And then there's all the content creators, esports. I don't know. So here's the thing
about this one.
I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know who any of them are. And like, I follow what I thought was the esports scene, but it turns out they don't even consider the fighting game community to be esports because there's nothing on there that's fighting games. There's nothing. So, well, that's the awards. But now let's talk about the real reason people go to the awards, which is the announcements.
The announcers.
The announcers?
Yeah.
Oh, frick. Why was...
Who?
There's so many of those announcers that I was just like, why are you here?
Gal Gadot?
Almost all of them, I'd say.
No, Brie Larson fits, because she's a gamer.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. She is. Yeah.
But
almost
Christopher
everyone else,
Nolan
I'm just
presenting
like,
Game
why
of the
are
Year?
you... Christopher Nolan. I seriously... Like, the fact that the only way to watch the Game Awards is by streaming it to your house days after he said if you stream movies, he's gonna kill you himself. Like,
yeah, we were joking about that, me and my roommate.
Okay, let's talk about some of these announcements.
So we're not going to list all of them off, but we'll just do the top ones.
We're gonna skip one of them for later, an important one that we'll have to talk about.
Yes, of course.
First off, a new Perfect Dark.
I
was intrigued, and then I heard that no one from Rare who worked on Perfect Dark is a part of it, so now I don't care. Back 4 Blood.
Basically Left 4 Dead again. But it looks good.
Literally made by the people who made Left 4 Dead.
But it looks good.
Not being allowed to make a new Left 4 Dead.
I'm looking forward to that.
Dragon Age will return.
Anything to say on that?
I can't legally. Monster Hunter Rise trailer.
Yes, with a demo coming in January.
Yes, that game looks really good. Shoutouts to the new monsters. Shoutouts to the returning monsters. Royal Ludroth is my boy, my spongy boy. So I'm very happy he's back.
I don't know if this is because I watched this on a 4K TV, but like this game looks incredible for a Switch game.
For this, well, there's some people who are wondering if they're actually running the leaked PC version.
Oh, no, that makes sense now.
There's people who are like, are they running the PC version, or a potential Switch Pro that may or may not be in the works?
I feel like it's more on the PC side than the, but it could also be like the Switch Pro.
Yeah. So, but no, it looks really fun. And I'm going to enjoy hunting all those new monsters, like the one that's the mermaid, or the one that is the monkey who throws persimmons at you. A new Among Us map with the big deal ladders.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Whoa.
Also, I like the robot.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even look at it. It's an airplane, right?
Yeah, and you can also the new thing, you can select where to spawn now instead of everyone spawning in the same spot.
Oh, that's interesting.
So it'd be like,
that's actually
it complicates
cool.
things and makes it more difficult to be like, oh, I was here and that type of thing.
So now you can ask where we dropping, boys, and in this game too. So, Ghosts and Goblins
This
Resurrection.
was a weird out of left field.
This one was leaked.
Oh, was it?
From the Capcom leak, so a lot of us knew it was coming. It has an art style that isn't what I would have expected, but I'm kind of okay with. Ghosts and Goblins is not my favorite Capcom property. I like it better when it cameos than its actual source material. But I think I'll check it out. But the better thing that I'm more excited for is the Capcom Arcade Stadium collection, which is basically, it's a free app you can download. You get one of their Space Shooters 1945 for free. But then you can individually download certain Capcom arcade games, including some that have never been able to be like rebought on like modern systems ever before, like Cyberbots.
I've never heard of that.
Yo, dude, it's Cyberbots.
I've never heard of Cyberbots.
Cyberbots is did you play Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
No.
I'm gonna show you a dude. I'm gonna share my screen with you. His name is Jin Saotome. He is a hot-blooded mecha pilot. Just one second, let me share this with you. Okay, so this guy, Jin Saotome, can you see it?
I'm going to need to... Yeah, now I can.
Okay, so this dude was in Marvel vs. Capcom. He's like a hot-blooded mecha pilot, and he's basically Captain Falcon, where he's never outside of his mech in the game, but then you put him in this fighting game, and he's like, he like screams and does like hyper punches, and it's great. And one of his special moves is he yells, "Bloody a punch!" and he does a punch, and then his mecha's arm like comes over his and does a massive punch.
That's cool.
So he's a very popular character from Marvel vs. Capcom, and so this is his original game. Yes, Cyberbots is it's a fighting game with mechs. And so it's all like you're playing as giant robots instead, which is really fun. One of the unlockable characters is he's called Cyber Akuma, and he is literally a weeb who decided to turn Akuma into their robot. So it's literally just a giant robot Akuma. It's great. So I'm very happy that that's finally getting a re-release, because that's one of those things that, I mean, we didn't think would get a re-release. So I'm very happy. You're not even looking at my screen.
No,
I turned off the screen share, and you're not even looking at my screen.
At it.
I can now see you. You're not even. You were looking at your phone. You don't care about Cyberbots.
At the very end there, I was looking at my phone, but I was looking at it the whole time.
Okay. Well, yeah. So there's a lot of Capcom titles that I'm excited to buy. Some of them I'm like, I don't need to buy Street Fighter again. I own it on everything.
It's free, isn't it?
No, it's like the app is free and you get one game free.
Oh.
Then you individually purchase like the games that you want for it.
Okay.
So there's a couple I'm gonna buy, and there's a couple that I'm like, I do not need to buy this again. I do not need another copy of Street Fighter 2. I don't need Ghouls and Goblins or Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, because guess what? Those are already on the SNES app for free. And while they're not the arcade version, they are damn close enough on the SNES. You can take this one.
Master Chief is coming to Fortnite. Mm-hmm. And it's cool because they added like that Blood Gulch map too, or whatever.
Oh, Blood Gulch is such a good map.
And then after that, out of left field, Walking Dead's coming to it too, with Michonne and Daryl.
Not Samus like we thought.
Yeah,
It was, we're like, oh, they're gonna do one more character, and it was like, yeah, no, it was Daryl and Michonne, and not.
It makes sense because they're hunters, so that's the whole theme
guess,
of it.
yeah.
So I wonder if it's just going to be the characters or.
I wonder if they're going to be labeled under the gaming legends or if they're just costumes. Because like Chief and Kratos are under the title of the Gaming Legends collection. So I wonder if they count because of the Telltale game. Maybe they kind of look similar,
but they're not in that universe though. Neither of those.
They're not.
Michonne's like those versions of those characters are not in the Telltale universe.
Oh, huh. Okay.
Oh, yeah, but
you're gonna need to explain these two because I didn't even.
I just want to say, like, I tried Fortnite once, like recently.
Oh yeah.
It's like It's like insane. It's like no wonder this game is so popular. There's like side quests and NPCs running around.
What?
Yeah, there's like just NPCs just chilling, and then you don't go talk to them, and they're like, they're like, oh, I have this list of side quests you can do right now if you want, and
like mid-match.
Yeah, mid-match. And one of them's like, go kill this person who's nearby, or like, go find this person. And then there's actual like NPC enemies that shoot you, and that are a part of the story.
What? Okay, that's new.
Yeah.
Last time I played it, which was the one time, that had none of that.
Yeah, for me either.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Tell me about these two because I don't know what they are.
It Takes Two is the new game by, excuse my language, fuck the Oscars guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Of course, he loves his games with two players.
This game looks actually awesome. It's like all about like.
Well, I mean, his original game was.
Way Out?
People did enjoy it. Yeah, Way Out. People really enjoyed it. So
yeah, but this
does make sense.
But the way this game looks, it's all like arts and crafts and like puppeteers and all that, and it's about like the whole theme is about like a failing relationship, and the two like working together to rebuild it and make it better. So. It looks really good. Like I have a gamer roommate, so maybe I'll be able to play it with him.
Yeah.
So and then the Callisto Protocol. This caught my eye because this is basically a spiritual successor to Dead Space. So.
Oh.
Yeah, like the Ewy gooey monster who killed the scientist and everything, and.
Nice.
Looks really promising. And then finally.
Mass Effect. I think a lot of us knew about this.
My roommate mentioned that like this takes place like after 3.
Yeah, because it shows one of the characters from the Mass Effect series picking up a N7 badge, which is like, it's like, why is Liara picking it up?
It takes place like in the galaxy that like Andromeda didn't take place in, so they're just gonna like swipe away.
I mean,
Andromeda.
it's being made here. It's not being made in Montreal where Andromeda was made.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people, like I know someone who's working on it. So that's pretty cool. We'll see if it's
Do
good.
you know things?
I know nothing about this. My knowledge only extended to Dragon Age 4.
Okay.
Or whatever they're going to call it.
Cool. And that's it. Okay. For the Game Awards. Other than
that's about it. Other than that one thing we'll talk about at the end. I didn't watch any of the Disney Investor Day stuff, but it sounds like you have some stuff you want to talk about with it.
Did you watch any of the trailers?
Nope.
Oh, dude. So this was happening concurrently with Game Awards. So they were making these huge Disney announcements as I was watching the Game Awards, right? So basically, like, the rundown is that Disney Plus is going to have a service added on top of it, which is basically a Hulu replacement for international countries.
Okay.
Because I knew this was an issue for you, because you're like, oh, we can't get Hulu anywhere.
Yeah.
It's called Disney Plus Star. It's going to have, like, the Alien movies, going to have the Kingsman movies, like all the kind of, like, adult live-action movies that are going to be on there, so that's going to be cool. That's coming February 23rd. And then the price for Disney Plus is also going to be increased by $3 next year, which, I mean...
So is that for free then, the Hulu stuff, or is that a paid edition?
I'm not sure. I think that's just comes included. That's why they're hiking up the price.
Yeah, and that'd be fine with me, because if it's a hike up the price to get more stuff, that's fine.
Yeah. And then we have some like more segmented stuff. So we'll start with Marvel, obviously, because that's what we're most interested in.
Yeah.
So some new Disney Plus shows got announced. Secret Invasion with Nick Fury and a Talos from Captain Marvel is coming out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ironheart, and she's going to be played by Dominique Thorne. I'm not sure who that is.
I'm Googling that.
Yeah, I should do that too.
I'm Googling it right now. No, don't Google it. You're gonna be too loud.
I'm not.
You're gonna hear clack 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 clack.
I'm not
clack.
gonna type it. I'm just gonna.
Dominique Thorne. I can definitely say I've never watched any of her 3 movies. Only one of which is out. Oh, she's like a brand new actress, pretty much. Okay. She released a 2018 movie, and then her next thing is Ironheart, and then something after that.
Interesting. Armor Wars, which is a War Machine show. One of my friends is super excited for this.
That sounds pretty hype. If it's just going to be a bunch of like all the Marvel armors fighting each other.
Well, there was a summary of the story for it. It's basically like War Machine just tries to keep Iron Man's tech out of the wrong hands. So
okay,
basically just kind of Iron Man 3. Wait, no.
Sure.
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say Iron Man 2. More Iron Man 2 stuff.
Yeah.
Baby Groot, which is animated specials, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. So, I mean, the one I'm most looking forward to is Secret Invasion, because that
sounds good. Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to like differentiate it from Captain Marvel.
Well, she won't be in it, probably.
I guess. So then there were 4 new trailers for WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, What If, and Loki. And by far, Loki looks the best. Like, after this, or like when we're on our break, you should watch it, because it's like...
But part of me wants to just go in and not know anything. You know?
I feel like there's like so much you don't, like, I don't even know what's going on in the Loki trailer.
Oh, so it's like a tone style one?
Yeah. Well, there's some like
those types. So
there's some like scenarios that happen, but it doesn't really reveal what's going on, really.
Okay, yeah, that I can watch. It's just I hate once you become too literate with media, you can't watch trailers anymore. You'll know the whole story.
So then don't watch WandaVision, because WandaVision kind of like nails you.
That's what I've heard.
With like the plot and be like, oh, this is what's actually happening type thing. So
yeah, no, I don't want to know about that.
But yeah, I watched all of them, and yeah, I'm looking forward to like all these shows.
Okay.
So Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth are going to be in She-Hulk, which is interesting because Abomination hasn't been seen since Phase 1.
That's true.
A Miss Marvel sizzle reel happened, and
are we talking about Captain? Not Captain.
No, Miss.
We're talking Miss Marvel.
Like the Indian one.
Nice, good.
And
sorry, what?
What?
Can I try that again?
Middle Eastern?
Oh, I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, I'm bad. I'm sorry. Is it Middle Eastern?
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
And then Fantastic Four movie got confirmed finally.
Oh, really?
Directed by John Watts.
Oh, will it be as good as Fantastic?
I think it'll be better.
I've literally never watched Fantastic, and I have no want to.
That's the only movie I've ever been in a theater for that I've like considered walking out of.
Does the Thing never put on pants?
I don't remember. The only thing I remember from that stupid ass movie is how they got their name. Like, the Thing was like, man, this team's pretty fantastic. And then Reed Richards was like, say that again. And then the movie cuts to the credits. I'm not even, not even joking.
I hate it. Oh. So what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
That's basically what it was.
Oh.
And then Ant-Man 3 is called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And it's going to have...
Is that a real word?
I'm not sure.
Quantumania. Nope. Considering all I'm getting is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay.
And I think they're recasting Cassie Lang. Like the...
well, yeah, because now she's a teenager, it says.
Well, no, I mean like her teenager version too, like that appeared in Endgame.
Well, yeah, because kids change over time.
Yeah. And King the Conqueror is in that one. He's going to be the main.
I don't
one.
know who that is.
You don't know King the Conqueror? I feel like he's
I
feel like he's a B level Marvel villain.
Let me see here. What's this dude look like? Oh God. Oh, he's really those colors. He's really green,
Yeah.
purple, and blue. Jeez, that's an ugly color scheme.
I'm not sure what his powers are.
I don't know anything about it. Then again, you know, like the only reason I know about half the Marvel heroes is because they're in Marvel vs. Capcom. So, who knows? Maybe he'll be good one day. What video games has he been in? I don't see the word Capcom anywhere, so I don't care. All right.
Moving on.
Yep.
Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau will be in Captain Marvel 2.
Who's the latter?
I'm not sure. She's a Marvel character, so.
Oh, yes, I've seen her in the comics once or twice.
What is she all about? What is
that?
she all about?
She looks like Captain Marvel, but more ethnically diverse.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's her power? From what I'm reading, she pretty much has her powers. Powers. She can transform herself into any form of energy. She's invisible and intangible.
She's Electro. But
she's immortal and does not age. Okay.
Interesting.
So yeah, basically immortal, invisible Captain Marvel, because we didn't want anyone too powerful in Marvel.
So this is interesting, but also obvious after with the stuff we're going to talk about after.
Yep, with what we know.
Doctor Strange 2 is going to tie into Spider-Man 3. And I can't pronounce that, but
I think it's Xochitl Gomez.
Xochitl Gomez is going to be Miss America Chavez in Doctor Strange 2.
Let's see. What has she done? Looks like a bunch of teen shows that I've never watched. Apparently, there's a 2018 TV show she starred in called Matty Paz is a Noob.
Huh.
She also starred in something called Boob Sweat. Wow, those are titles. Do you know about America Chavez? No. So I saw her in the comics from when I tried to get into Marvel Comics. Basically, she goes by Miss America, and she's pretty much like just a girl who tries to pick up the mantle of Captain America. She doesn't use a shield. She just punches and kicks really hard.
Interesting.
Yeah, she goes by Miss America. Yeah, from what I've seen, she feels a bit derivative, but at the same time, at least she's not just a redone What If Captain America was a girl and a darker skin tone, and you know, she's not that, because she's like an entirely separate character pretty much.
Okay.
But just the America motif is very on point.
Cool. We'll talk about the Spider-Man stuff later.
Yes.
Christian Bale is going to appear as Gore in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Okay.
Which people thought he would be.
Who the hell is Gore?
He's basically a god killer.
Oh.
So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Weird design. Sure.
Christian Bale being in the MCU is cool though.
Is Love and Thunder also done by Taika Waititi?
Yes.
Good. Then I'm going to enjoy that.
And then finally, Disney's not going to recast T'Challa in Black Panther 2 out of respect. And they're just going to focus on, because there's like so many other Black Panther characters that like are equally as interesting. So
absolutely.
I'm sure Shuri is going to take like the mantle.
I don't think so.
No?
Not after her recent Twitter tirade.
Oh, what did she do?
Oh, anti-vax stuff. Yeah.
Then who? Who?
White Tigress probably.
White Tigress.
She's a Marvel character who's basically... let's see here. I only know about her from the Spider-Man TV show, but she's like a girl. Oh, I'm getting the sexual teachings of the White Tigress. Secrets of the Nope. That's I meant
her, yes.
Marvel.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, White Tiger rather. Yeah, I think it'll be her instead, just because.
Okay. It's
close enough without, bringing in another character. Yeah. She has a pretty good design. I like her.
Cool. And that's basically it.
Okay.
For the Disney or the Marvel stuff.
So this next section, a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have cared about.
Wait.
But I've started watching some
Okay,
Mandalorian.
I hear it's amazing. Like my roommate. My roommate. He loves Star Wars.
Okay, here's the thing.
And this made him fall in love with Star Wars again.
I said I'm done with Star Wars forever with the movie. Yeah. The new Mandalorian season makes me feel like a kid again. And do you know why one of the big things is? And you see a lot with this. They're no longer in that, we know you guys didn't like the prequels, let's not talk about those. They're no longer in that phase. Now they're like, hey, the prequels, they had some cool stuff. Let's use that cool stuff. Like, for example, I just watched an episode that, one, was apparently ripped right from a side quest in Knights of the Old Republic. That's pretty cool. But two, one of the characters just uses it takes place in Tatooine. He rides one of Anakin's pod racer pods, like the engines. He modifies it and he says, yeah, I found this pod racer part. And you're like, holy crap, they acknowledge pod racing. That's pretty cool. And so, like, it's really, really good.
Well, looking at this, like all the announcements here, like there's no like reference to like the new trilogy.
Thank God.
But anyways, like I'm going to get into it. Rogue One prequel called Andor. Have you seen Rogue One?
I have. It's really good.
I haven't seen it.
Rogue One is better than any of the 3 sequel movies, barring The Last Jedi, which is the best one. And I stand by that.
Prepare for some angry YouTube
anyone
comments.
Anyone who thinks that it's the worst one, they fell into the internet crazies. It's the best one out of 3 by far.
Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader is going to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, or is it TV show?
It's a series.
Oh, it's a series. Okay.
And I gotta say, I blame the prequel memes people for this, and thank you for never letting Hayden Christensen forget his time as all the times we quote the sand. I have the high ground.
Did he condemn it? Oh no, that was Obi-Wan's actress or actor.
Oh no, he did. They both of them have gone on record saying they hated the time, but at the same time, that was like right when it came out and when they really hated it. But then time went on and people stopped being afraid to say they liked the prequels, which I mean a lot of people do now. And now they're like, because now it's like, we all love those prequel memes. Like, we all love them. Like, a lot of people really like the prequels. So now they're like, yeah, they wanted to be back for this.
Lando Calrissian is getting an event series, whatever that means.
Sure. So probably just a short form series, probably a couple episodes.
Mandalorian spinoffs. Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic.
Don't know about the latter. But the former is real good. You know who Ahsoka is? So she appeared in Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And made people go, oh, God, you mean we actually had to watch the animated series? Yep. Hope you did. And Ahsoka is the most amazing case of, I remember people on release of the Clone Wars movie, not the Attack of the Clones, but the Clone Wars animated movie, being like, oh, we're giving Anakin a shitty kid sidekick, and people stopped watching it for anything but her.
Really?
Like, she was oh yeah, by the end of the series, you cared more about Ahsoka than anything else in there. And because like she seemed like, just to put it in perspective, she does some stuff that makes you go, how come she's never brought up in future movies? and they give a reason, and it's really good.
Is it
Like,
explained
it's
in
really
Mandalorian?
good. It's not explained in Mandalorian. It's explained in the TV show, but her appearance in Mandalorian makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta get around to
So-
Mandalorian. Like, I hear it's just
Real good. It's so the thing about Mandalorian is one of the best things about it is the fact that every episode is an episode of a Western. It is about the gunslinger who walks into town, solves a crisis, and moves on. It is a pure Western with my family was watching it and I just said, this is just like a Western. And they're like, oh my God, it is. Because it's literally, instead of a horse, he rides into town on his speeder or his ship. He goes to the bar to get a drink and there's someone he knows. And, it's like a Western. And it's so well done. It's really enjoyable.
cool. Teasers for the animated series of The Bad Batch and an anime anthology called Star Wars Visions. So,
do you know about what The Bad Batch is
it's like
about?
a spin-off from the Clone Wars?
So it's literally about a batch of clones that are like defective.
Oh, okay. I hear. Well, my
So it's
roommate's really excited for this one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
And then a Patty Jenkins Star Wars movie. So she
that?
directed Wonder Woman, and it's going to
Oh.
direct the second, or already directed the second one. So
All right, sure.
yeah, that's.
Isn't there? They also said a Taika Waititi Star Wars movie too.
Did they? I didn't. Oh, I went through the list of stuff.
They
And
did.
I didn't see it on the list. So
Star Wars. I remember tweeting that one because I was really excited about that. It says, let's see here. Yeah, Taika Waititi to direct and co-write new Star Wars film. That was announced
okay,
there too.
cool.
That I'm excited for because his stuff is great.
Cool. And that's it for Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, that's it for the Star Wars, which, hey, I've never been more excited for Star Wars than now, which is wild.
Cool.
So hope they stick the landing, unlike the last time.
And then some other Disney stuff. A Toy Story prequel called Lightyear. Lightyear got announced. Chris Evans is going to be Buzz, and it's releasing in 2022.
This is freaking weird because when asked, like, how is it a prequel? They said, oh, it's about the real guy named Buzz Lightyear. What? The real guy named Buzz Lightyear that the toy was made after. What?
Yeah?
You mean Buzz Lightyear wasn't a generic action figure, but he was like a Michael Phelps statue? That's weird. I don't know about that.
We'll see. Then Enchanto, the next Disney movie. I don't really watch Disney movies, but
I mean, I enjoy them when they tie into Kingdom Hearts.
there you go. Indiana Jones 5 is in pre-production, and it's going to be out in 2022.
Admittedly, a little sad it's not about Shia LaBeouf taking up the mantle. It's still Harrison Ford. I honestly thought after Star Wars that was him being done with action films, but I guess the paycheck was too good.
Oh, yeah, it's Disney money.
It's big Disney money.
And then an Alien series is in the works, and it's set on Earth. It's going to be like a combination of Alien 1 and Aliens.
But then with the being set on Earth, like Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, so sounds promising.
Sure. All right. As long as it's not like the Alien spin-offs, we're all good.
And then Always Sunny in Philadelphia gets 4 more seasons, making it the longest running sitcom ever.
Is this Disney?
It's Fox, so yes.
Oh my God, Fox is Disney now. Oh my God.
That's why Fantastic Four is happening.
God, it's all together. I forgot about that. Oh geez. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for the Disney stuff.
Well, aside from one more thing later on, but we'll talk about that.
So Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game got delayed till January of 2021.
Honestly, I don't. Any time a game gets delayed now, I'm like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's I mean,
like it's like you don't even have to say why. I know why. It's fine. Take your time. Don't rush it. Don't put yourself in danger.
you didn't
That's fine by me.
take a week off of work for this?
No, because that's stupid.
Also, Haley,
Who even gets a week off of work booked up and uses it for a game? Dude, just play it when you get home. Just play it on the weekend or wherever. Like, it's weird. Play it in the bathroom on your Switch.
something you can play on your Switch, Halo Infinite got delayed to fall 2021.
Yeah. Fine by me.
You know,
make that game good.
I don't know who said it, but someone said I think it was Max who said, if you call your game Infinite, there's just no good things that come out of that. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
But that's the best Marvel. Okay,
Shut up.
I enjoy it, but it's not the best. We'll see. Honestly, if they take a bit more time to make it better, it's
I
fine
need
by
to send
me.
you something after on our break.
Okay, all right.
And then, this one. Spider-Man 3 casts Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus.
Spider-Verse.
And there are even further rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire appearing.
So I saw people tweeting about a Sony poster with all three of them. Was that real?
No, that wasn't real.
Okay.
But
so,
I've seen...
yeah, I saw people being like, yo, did you see that Sony poster with all three Spider-Man on it? And, like, it was one of those things that when you open up a new tab on Chrome on mobile where it gives you, like, these news stories, that was there, but I didn't click on it, so I didn't know if that was real or not. So I guess it's not. Probably just someone's Sony fan page.
Boss Logic, who does really cool stuff.
Huh.
He just uploaded... Oh, yeah. It's, like... Yeah, if you visit his page, it's, like, all over his Twitter.
Okay.
But yes, this is very, very exciting.
So who's left for the Sinister Six?
Well, we got Vulture, Electro, and Doc Ock.
Doc Ock.
And
So we get three more.
I assume Scorpion, because he's been teased in horror.
Scorpion, because he was hinted at in Homecoming.
Yeah. And then I want Green Goblin, but I want like the MCU Green Goblin. I don't want original Green Goblin.
I kind of want original Green Goblin.
Do you even think William Dafoe will even want to come back?
Why wouldn't he?
Do
you think he disliked his time on it?
I don't know. I feel like he's that type of actor who has better things to do.
I don't think so. But if not that, then I want Sandman. Because Sandman, like the original Spider-Man 3 Sandman, is like perfect.
He's not usually a Sinister Six member, though.
He's not, but that does, I mean, Sinister Six changes every time.
Yes.
Just needs to be 6 villains. I wouldn't mind the Robo-Suit Rhino.
No. Absolutely
I
not.
I don't mind it.
I went to go see Amazing Spider-Man 2 with my dad back in 2014, and even he's like, well, this is stupid. Why is he in a robot suit? And I agreed. But maybe
and then
Venom?
Of course,
maybe a Venomverse villain.
If not Venom, but Riot or even another symbiote.
Morbius, maybe?
Just to be like, Morbius isn't a villain.
No, yeah. But no, I feel like symbiotes are off limits for Sinister Six because symbiotes are their own like plot line, you know.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But I've like
we'll
this
see.
movie's going to be.
I think they're going to tie it in now. Well, because there was the Venom 2 leak that showed the new suit.
Was there?
Did you see that? Yeah, there was there was some merchandise that they revealed for Venom 2 that has the spider on the suit.
Send it
on Venom.
Send it on Discord if you can find it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that and going like, oh. Let's see here. Because I saw the artwork for it. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. Venom 2 merchandise? I literally saw it, and it says it had the white spider on it.
But yeah, I'm not sure who else could be a part of it, but...
Here it is. It was a kid's costume for Venom 2. I'm posting it. This is the official kid's costume for Venom 2.
Huh.
It has a spider.
Maybe that might just be...
That is the official Let There Be Carnage suit.
That might just be the merchandise level of it, just to get it out there.
Possibly. but it's still something to go over with what's happening with Spider-Man.
But I feel like the whole like identity reveal thing is just gonna get pushed aside. Because I feel like this, like all of this happening is because like Disney wants to like get everything Spider-Man out before their deal ends again.
Yeah, a bit.
But I hope they can like nail this, because like this is like a big deal. I can't believe we're going to see like Alfred Molina as Doc Ock again. Like that's
good. I was a little bit of me kind of wanted a live action Spider-Verse Doc Ock, because I love her. But the second one that I would be like, that's Doc Ock, is Alfred Molina.
I feel like he's going to be like the lead. Like who's gonna orchestrate this Sinister Six? Like there's always like a figurehead.
The only problem is he's remorseful at the end.
But Doc I feel Ock. Like this is gonna be like taken like mid movie. Like
literally take him out mid movie where he's still kind of crazy. That's always a possibility.
Like I feel like that's gonna happen with Electro.
Yeah, it's true too.
Because these villains die at the end, right? Like, so
that's true.
Except Vulture and Scorpion. I wonder what Scorpion's gonna look like.
I hope it looks like Spider-Verse Scorpion.
Oh, what did he look like again?
Oh, he was freaking rad. You don't remember?
No, I don't.
He had like claws. Okay, let me show you. I typed that in so terribly. Like, yeah, his design. I'm going to show you the toy version of him, because it's the most clear version. Send that off to you.
Oh, yeah, that.
Right? Like, that's sick. I love that. That design was awesome. And he, like, appeared without anyone saying anything, which I really liked. Like, he just was there in the movie.
Yeah.
I really liked that, where he was just like, yeah, he was there. He said some stuff in Spanish, and then Miles replied, and he was like, oh, all right. You know? I like that.
But yeah.
Okay, and the last thing for the Western news is that Warner Brothers is releasing their 2021 films through HBO Max alongside with them in theaters, making AMC, the American movie company, very angry. Because they're like, now who will come by the Twitter thread where I discovered how bad American theaters are blew my mind. Like, I didn't know. Whenever I see people being like, man, theaters suck, I don't mind them dying, I'm like, why is that? So I looked into it, and it's like, oh, wow. American movie theaters don't get cleaned. They get cleaned once a day.
Ooh.
Not between showings.
Ultra dirty, right? Like once a use.
Yeah, right? So once a day they get cleaned, if at all. They say they don't hire janitors at all or people to clean because it's too much. There's no, like, if there's something going on with people, you can't call and get them escorted out of there. Like, there's no security.
That's...
Like, I've had a situation where there was a crazy person in the theater who was screaming during the movie, and someone called, and they escorted them out because they were, like, threatening to beat someone up. They don't have that there.
Oof.
Like, so it's like, well, no wonder you guys hate movie theaters so much. Yours are terrible. But here it's like, I've had good experiences. The worst experience I had in a theater was one where the AC was broken and it was super hot, and I went to go see WALL-E. That sucked. Kind of ruined WALL-E for me. But like, that was the worst. Every other time, I've had good experiences in the theater.
Yeah. Well, too bad we can't get HBO Max though.
Yeah, well, we'll see if maybe Disney Star will include this or not.
Oh, maybe. Because isn't Hulu, I don't know what the connections are.
Oh, wait. Hulu and HBO Max? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We don't get it either way.
Oh, well.
They'll probably come up with some way for Canada to get it, because it's just free money on the table.
Pretty much. And that's it for the Western side.
Okay.
There's significantly less on the East. But
there's some big stuff.
We have our next DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And it is...
Well, one sec. Very, very, very us. Never body fussy us. Very, very, very us. Never body fussy us. Severus.
Man. So what was your initial reaction? Excited. Like, I watched your reaction, but like...
So much like when Megalovania hit, Well, that's a song that I would instantly recognize anywhere else. My brain had to twist to say this song and Smash together. And like, holy crap. I'm so happy.
I know no one even like predicted this like at all.
I saw a couple people, and every time I thought, you're crazy. There's no way. I mean, we barely got Cloud back, so how could there be more? I mean, I made a freaking joke tweet with Min Min, remember? About Gungaga.
Oh yeah, I've read that tweet.
And remember, it's like Gungaga. It's like, what? Zach Fair confirmed? It's like, no, but Sephiroth was now.
Man.
Like,
that trailer
what?
also was incredible. Like,
It's my favorite Smash
watching
trailer.
it.
It's my favorite
part
one.
where-
The amount of animation is incredible.
The part where Cloud and Sephiroth like clash swords, and like that the music gets like super intense.
So that though is ripped right. They reanimated the ending of Advent Children.
That's
for that.
cool.
Like shot
with
for
Mario
shot almost.
just flying out of frame
With Mario there. Yeah, so it's like I love the fact that Sakurai just continues to tell people to watch Advent Children, which is hilarious because that movie is old and funded by Sony. You know, so it's like Sony gets all the money for it.
But yeah,
Man.
what do you think?
So I'm happy that he has spells. That he's not like Cloud, which is all sword stuff. He has his spells and his moves from the various spin-offs. He has Dark Flare, he has Scintilla, he might have another spell that we don't know, because I counted the moves and there's not a ton, and so I'm like, we'll learn more in a couple days here.
Yeah, Thursday, so that's like 4 days.
Yeah. There's... His sword range is buck wild long.
I love
which
it.
Is nice because they nerfed his sword length in Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's
Oh, really?
not as long.
So I'm
They
glad
did.
they kept it that long.
So for this, they kept it to the original length of... So do you know what the name of his sword, what it's
Is it a
called?
spoiler?
Not the... No, it's not. No, I'm not talking about the type of sword. Not its official name is the Masamune, which is just like a generic sword name. But its official title for that length of sword is called the washing pole. Do you know why?
It's so long.
Because you can literally put it up and wash all your clothes on it. It's that long.
That's awesome.
And it's so good. It sounds much cooler in Japanese, though. But it's like, so, yeah. Yeah. Oh, he looks really cool. I guess for...
His render is
movie,
crazy awesome, too.
It's the best. Oh, shoutouts to his shirtless costume, which is...
What, is that a reference to something?
That's the final... Yeah, that's the final phase of him when you fight him as a boss.
Nice.
It's the very final phase is... Like, check out what Sakurai just tweeted.
Oh, yeah, the black. Them on the... Yeah.
That is the final, like, the final battle with Sephiroth
Really?
there. Where it's just Black Void, Cloud and shirtless Sephiroth just staring off. Like, it is...
I'm so
good.
happy there's like another villain character near the supposed end of the roster.
And honestly, a lot of villain characters, I'm like, there's not much that I would like really think should be like the villains that are in now. I feel represent a lot of really good villains, but you don't have.
This is like
the JRPG.
This is like
villain.
the JRPG villain.
That's why people are like, oh, another anime swordsman. It's like, no, shut up. He's the anime swordsman. He is the anime edgelord swordsman, right?
What about a stage?
So the stage is really cool because it is the final dungeon of the game. It's the dungeon's called the Northern Crater. And if you watch the trailer, you start outside the Northern Crater. You see the Meteor crashing in the background, which is like, you know, on the cover there's the Meteor, like that's a big deal in Final Fantasy VII. And then you go into the Northern Crater and it goes down, and in the background, like people have examined it and I've looked at it, the backgrounds each represent different phases of the final boss battle.
Oh, that's so cool.
So there's that big red stone, that's one phase of the final boss battle. There's like
all phases?
this platform. Yeah, so it's the phases of the final boss battle.
Oh, dude.
Mind you,
is there
the opponent isn't there, but it's like all the locations that are in the final boss.
Is there a stage based on a final boss battle in Smash yet?
A final boss?
Like a stage.
I'm thinking. Let me take a look at the stages.
I can just look at the roster down here.
I know. I'm just looking at. Well, I need to see the stages though, because I need to think about. Wily Castle that's technically because you battle, like that's the whole end area of Mega Man.
So, what do you think of the wing? Like, it's not always there.
I think it's a limit mechanic also.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a limit, but then how it works is once you get it, you have it for a limited time. Like it's pretty much Arsene. I think it's gonna be like Arsene there, unless there's something different. It's interesting because it changes his forward smash too. Because his forward smash in the first part of the trailer is just a big slash, but then once he has the wing, it's a stab into the ground. So maybe it's like a diagonal down, or maybe even a down smash instead. But it looks like a forward smash. So I don't know. Oh no, there totally is one that's a final boss, and that is the Find Me.
Oh yeah, I guess.
That is.
It's Final Smash. Whatever that is.
Safer Sephiroth is what it's called.
I'm sure it's just like a screen wipe. Or like a screen.
Okay.
Like something like Joker's or something.
So literally though, if you look on the website, it shows the three characters.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
getting
now.
Hit by it,
Bowser.
and they're facing forward. So I think it's going to be he hits you, and then it's a cinematic because the way that they're lined up is the way your characters look in the final battle, like the party looks in the final battle versus him. Like it's literally they stand in the pose of the main trio. So I think that's what that is. So it's going to be like an attack that then, because then people who know behind him, you can see his strongest attack being done. So it's not just the transformation, it's the transformation and then what's called Supernova, his strongest attack. Now, I don't think Supernova will be how it is in the original Final Fantasy VII, because that's a 3-minute long cutscene every time he does it. Literally, it's like it's a super move. It's just like it's a move he can do, but it's his strongest move, and it literally shows every planet from Pluto to Earth being destroyed one by one before it hits you.
Oh my god.
And it's 3 minutes long. It is ridiculous, and the best part is because it is a gravity spell, it can never actually kill you. So fun stuff with that.
What else was I gonna say?
Music. So we don't know what it's going to be.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
There's honestly, I saw people saying they'll only do 2 tracks, being One Winged Angel and then Genova, the battle theme. I'd be fine with just those 2. Those are the 2 biggest omissions from 7 in my eyes, and if only those 2 get in, I am more than happy. There's more that I want, but those are the 2 that I need.
Yeah, I think
Genova is so
I think
good.
Realistically only 2. But I'd like to be like Sakurai saying like, we got the music now.
I wonder if they'll say something like Square Enix was so happy with the way we did Hero that, they said, why don't we try and bring Final Fantasy up to the same caliber? So 6 songs, you have the characters and the stages. I could see them do that. Maybe they'll say, we didn't think to ask for more when we were doing Final Fantasy VII's DLC for Smash Wii U or something, right? I could see him saying something like that, where if we just get 6 more, they'd be the same with Hero, and I'd be happy with that.
Obviously, the Chocobo costume is coming back in this pack.
So Chocobo costume. I do think Gino will be back as a Mii costume.
You think that's why they were waiting for this for Sephiroth? To put Gino back in?
I don't think they were. I don't think that. Well, yeah, I think so, because it's just like, if he's not, I think What I think they might do though is I could see them turning Gino into like a premium costume though.
Yeah.
Like a straight up, give him the head, give him the full body, like make him look like Gino. I could see them do that, and then add the Forest Maze song, which is his theme, which was in the game data with a remix in Brawl. Right. There's an unused Brawl remix, so put that in there, and that'd be good.
It was such a good idea for them to like do Steve and then Sephiroth, just because of the difference. I think you probably watched Mac's video where he talked about this.
I did. It's so good.
How like you appeal to this demographic of people, and then right after you appeal to a completely different one, but it's like the equal level of like amazement that this character is in the game, right? Like,
so good. Yeah.
I can't believe like.
And then otherwise, I really want us to get me Brawler, Tifa, and me Gunner Barrett that are just the PS1 sprites put on like a costume.
That's asking a lot. I feel just asking anything past...
They're me-sized. They're me-sized.
Anything past Sephiroth, like just the character, is a lot for Square.
Well, I mean, we're going to get spirits because of the fact that, I mean, that placeholder slot is there on the DLC spirit board. You can see it.
It's going to be Sephiroth, the Smash model, and then his alt model, and that's it.
No, well, you get those automatically, though, right? Those are, you get... Who knows? We'll see. Maybe we'll get... Because I want to get some of those Nomura illustrations. I love those, the original art. So I could see us. I think what we might get though is I think we'll get like the summons from Midgar as spirits, because those don't have spirits, weirdly, even though they are literally already JPEGs. I think we'll get the High Wind, the ship that flies through the background there of the stage. I think we'll get the main cast of characters: Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett, Sid, Red, Yuffie, Vincent.
That's a lot. Slow down there, cowboy.
Yeah, but a lot of them, it's going to be a single JPEG and a single fight there. And then what's his face? I forget his name. Oh, Ketchi. There you go. You don't even know who that is. Don't worry. You will learn, good sir.
Still 3 left. It's just unbelievable. Like, how... Do you think one of them's going to be a first party?
I think one more will be, but only one more. I don't think there'll be many more, because I think it's just too popular to do the third parties.
Yeah, and I feel like... Whoever that last character is has to, like, rupture the earth. It has to, like...
Yeah.
But like, who would that even be?
So I guess I can't even start guessing, because we couldn't guess Sephiroth. Nobody would. So I think that's about all we'll say for that, because of course we have the breakdown coming Thursday. So why spend time speculating what we are not too far from learning? And talk about the next thing. Persona 5 Strikers was finally announced for the West. Finally.
That trailer's so good.
Coming to Switch, PS4, and surprise, it's getting a Steam release. So, that's pretty good for those who, want to play Persona 5 on PC in one way or another.
Yeah.
I think we'll also get an announcement of Royal not too far away, I feel, for
really?
PC.
You think
I feel like it's inevitable. Yeah, I think because they saw how well Persona 4 did on Steam, and so this was already in development, so they could have just said, like, okay, start on this also for PC, but then doing Royal for PC would, because they already made the game. It's like, it's different. You have to kind of work backwards from it. So,
cool.
Hey, that's going to be good. I mean, I enjoyed Hyrule Warriors, and I enjoyed playing the demo of Scramble there. Interesting, they're calling it P5 Strikers in the West.
I feel it has more,
and not P5.
It has more of that Western oomph with that title.
Yeah, because Scramble will make people think you're like
scrambling eggs,
making
it's like
eggs,
a cooking game,
yeah, or something. Yeah, so I think Strikers is the cooler name. I mean, it's P5S anyways.
Yeah.
Speaking of good games coming to the Switch, Double Dragon Neon. This game is outstanding and is not available on any modern consoles. It was locked to the PS3 and Xbox 360. I don't even think it's backwards compatible on the Xbox One. So, like, the fact it's coming back, hell yeah, that's a good one.
Cool.
That was a good decision, now a bad decision. The Monster Hunter movie has been banned in China.
Yeah, I
Because
saw
of,
that clip. That was yikers.
So it's yikers, and then you learn that the Chinese subtitles are even worse. So, like, if they translated it properly, it would have been groan-worthy and sigh-worthy, but because of how it was translated, it actually ended up becoming racist. So,
Jesus.
there goes, and they even said, like, we'll get rid of that scene and we'll fix it, and they said, nope, too banned. China is a huge place for money for movies, especially types like these.
They must be, like,
Rip.
really pissed.
Oh, yeah, I think this is the last Capcom movie with Paul W.S. Anderson, because you kind of blew the pooch on this one.
Are you still going to see it?
Yep. I'm going to pirate it. I can't see it. There's no theaters.
Well, you
What am I
went
going
to
to
the
do?
theater for Fate.
Yeah, but now they're closed.
Well, when is it coming out?
Like, December 25th. Yeah.
Okay.
They're closed. They're not opening here. So, also the fact that I think a person died on the making of this movie, which is the second time Paul W.S. Anderson has killed someone making a movie. So, So, have you heard I'm sure you've heard us talk about Chainsaw Man.
Enough to be interested in it, interested in reading it.
So, Chainsaw Man, as of today, ended. But it said, end of part 1. Which made us all go, son, we got a modern JoJo on our hands.
Wait. Oh, shit. They kind of do.
Yeah, because most manga don't do this. Nowadays, they don't do this. Like, and they even said, like, there'll be a break. There'll be a time skip. And then we'll have part 2. So, Chainsaw Man is freaking outstanding.
Do you recommend me reading it?
I highly recommend it. It's also the perfect length. It is, I think, like 100 chapters. And honestly, for one, even though it appears in the same magazine as Dragon Ball and One Piece and like all this other stuff that is fairly for kids, it is a very mature manga. And it feels closer to a Western comic than a manga.
Really?
It absolutely feels like an Image Comics sort of thing. It feels like Spawn. It feels like maybe an edgy sort of like Daredevil or something. It is not anime. Despite this, it's getting an anime. That was also announced. But it is amazing. And its ending is 10 out of 10.
Synopsis on it, like without spoilers.
Okay, there's this kid. His name's Denji. Denji lives in a shack, and he spends his time in the shack saying, I just want to touch a boob once in my life.
Really?
That's a direct quote. That's not me making a joke. That is a direct quote. He says, I just, like, my life sucks. I'm alone. I'm poor. I just want to touch a boob. I just want to kiss a girl. I will do anything. Surprise! A devil appears and says, do you want to make a contract? I can make your wish come true. Now, in this universe, devils are kind of like stands. So you can contract with them and, you get their powers. But there's only a certain number of devils, and the devil can contract out to multiple people. So, like, if you have 2 people who are contracted out to the same devil, well, only one can use that power at a time, right? So it's like, who's more... So it's interesting. It's like the idea of, like, these different devils, right? And it's him contracting with the devil, and the devil fuses with him, and he becomes Chainsaw Man. So basically, he gets like a pull cord on his chest that he can pull, and his head bursts into a chainsaw, and his arms burst into chainsaws, and he's Chainsaw Man. And and so he's just like, yeah, chainsaws, and it's the art is beautiful, and what I'll say about it is a lot of show don't tell. There's chapters with 0 dialogue.
Really?
Where it is just telling through the facial expressions and the actions. Now, there's still comedy and there's still light moments, but it is like it's darker and it feels like a Western comic. It misses all the Shonen Jump tropes. Like, it goes against everything you expect, and it's amazing.
Okay, I'll check it out one time.
Highly recommend you check it out. It is getting an anime done by Mappa, who is the studio behind Attack on Titan, and like that show is really well animated, and so we're pretty excited because it's like that's a good one. We were worried because we're like, is it going to be CG? Are they going to like do it like Berserk, where it just, you know, like maybe a few episodes end up good, but then the rest goes downhill so badly you hate it? No, it's like it's a good one, and yeah, that ending, like reading the chapter ending today, I got goosebumps like you wouldn't believe. So good. Speaking of the last news story here, Shonen Jump, hey, One Piece is hitting chapter 1000 real soon here.
Like how soon?
And like, because I think the chapter that came out officially today is, I think, 998. Yeah, 998 came out today. Next week, I think, they are doing a double release. So 999 and 1000 are releasing at the same time. Because he wanted to get it done by the end of the year. So it's but chapter 1000, like that's big. So we're going to see, like, what does that mean?
It's going to be like
every time
another
there's
chapter.
Every milestone chapter has had something big happen. Like 100, 250, 500, 750, and then 1000. Like, we're looking like all those previous chapters, they've been important stuff, like big revelations. And like right now, it's like there could be something big, right? So, oh boy, that's gonna be good. I'm excited for that.
I've been meaning to getting around to read it again, but a lot's been going on. So,
honestly, I would say to read Chainsaw Man first.
Okay.
Like, it is. You won't be avoiding spoilers for it for too much longer.
You literally said the modern JoJo, and I got more interested than I was before.
It is. It also has a very unique art style too, which is like, it doesn't even look anime. Oh, okay, but it's weird because I honestly think though for part 2, because they said this is the end of part 1, I think part 2 they might put it in another magazine, because I literally think it's too much.
Really?
For Shonen Jump. Because all I'll say is there's a lesbian orgy in it, which is like, again, this is the same magazine with Boruto. So it's like, yeah, there was a chapter so bad, they actually said we can't put this on the app. You have to go to the web browser to read it. Like, it was a ban, like, because they can't show it on the app. It's beyond the rating of the App Store. So they said you have to read it online. And it's like, you read and you're like, yep, that's a spicy bunch of women going about their stuff. Yeah. It's so good.
All right, I'll watch it.
Oh.
Or read it.
No, you'll read it. Read it first, because we don't know if the anime will be good. We're still worried. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, this is so good, and I'm so scared they're going to ruin it in the anime form. So it's like, that's how good it is. Okay, well, that be that for the first part of our podcast here. Coming up after our quick break, we have our foreign exchange where we're talking about the Angry Video Game Nerd versus Helldivers. We're going to do our Game of the Year 2020 talk, along with some honorable mentions, because not all of us, I mean, obviously you don't have to play a Game of the Year it comes out in, so is there anything we want to talk about that are of equal importance? And then we'll be heading on out. So we will see you guys after our quick break, and when we do, we will see you in a second.
Hello, welcome back. We are back. Having my coffee.
We are back to the past to play some shitty games that suck ass. I'll probably, in the interlude, play the full version of the theme song, which is
Where are you gonna put One Winged Angel?
maybe at the end. Maybe at the end there, so that we can get the full version.
I feel AVGN would be good closer, and One Winged Angel would be the middle.
All right, sounds good. Well, then you totally didn't listen to the One Winged. You didn't listen to the AVG One Winged Video Game Nerd.
No, I didn't.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the One Winged Video Game Nerd? It's incredible. Good mental
That's terrifying.
image. So, hello everyone. We are talking about a foreign exchange that we gave last week. Well, last week. It's been quite a bit longer than that. I gave Adrian to watch the AVGN, a classic web series from, well, I was going to say from my childhood, but I kind of picked up on him later than I feel like a lot of my contemporaries. They watched him early on, and I didn't realize that it was a character, so I didn't enjoy it. And then I learned, oh, he's putting on an act. It's not actually an angry nerd. Then I watched it later there. And Adrian gave me Helldivers, which was a PS3, PS Vita, PS4, top-down, cooperative, twin-stick shooter, which we actually played together. And there's a video on my channel of us playing it together, running into people, having a good time, playing some easy levels, playing some hard levels, which I still have nightmares about.
And then being carried by a bunch of people.
And being carried. So, good stuff. So, who wants to go first this time?
You go first this time, because I've been going first a while.
Okay, so I played Helldivers, and I played with Adrian, and what I'll say is it's not a game that I would have ever bought on my own. However, there is something so quaint about the twin-stick shooter. It's probably one of my, favorite niche genres of games. I really enjoy a good twin-stick shooter every now and then. Just, something you can sit back and have a good time with. The only big problem I have with this one is it's almost a survival twin-stick shooter. You have very limited... even though the levels are short, you have very limited ammo. There are a lot of enemies, and your objectives usually, for one, there's reloading, which in a twin-stick shooter is freaking wild. You don't normally reload in those. You hold a direction and press a button, and you do it, right? So it's a lot more strategic. You can, crawl and crouch and roll, which are, way more defensive options than you're used to. It's way more of a 3D sort of game, even though it's, normally in twin-stick shooters, you don't think about the vertical. But this one, there's a vertical, right? And I enjoyed my time with it. I don't know if I'll ever really come back to it, but it definitely made me think about how I love that genre and how it's a fun time, albeit frustrating when, you're like, let's go, and you walk out, and your partner gets squished by your pod as you're falling down. Even though they could clearly have avoided it, Adrian.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, right?
It's,
remember how?
It was a test fire.
What do you mean a test fire?
Just to see if the gun worked.
It wasn't a gun. It was the pod that we come out of.
Oh, okay. No, I'm thinking of the times I stabbed you and shot you.
No, oh no. Yeah, that was a couple times there. No. I'm talking about the time when the pod drops and you walk out and you're like, oh boy, and then you walk right to where my pod is landing and my pod crushes you. My pod that I have no control out of by the way. So it's not like It's not like I could have done anything. Literally, the game stops loading and I see you dead. So,
well, it was the first time I played the game in a long time too, so
okay,
I was equally as on your skill level.
I was definitely really surprised by how many people were still playing it. That was something that surprised me. I guess I'm too used to games once the popularity of them die out, I'm so used to them just dying, like never finding a game ever again. Like freaking Power Rangers when it just came out, like there was no way to do no way to do matches with friends, but because no one else was playing it, I would just go online with Beat and we would play with each other because it was dead online except for literally the two of us. We were the only two people in the world playing at the same time, right? So I'm so used to games being like that. It's like, no, this one still has a lot of people still playing, which is weird because I don't see anybody saying they're playing this, you know? Like, normally you have people, like, on Twitter that are like, yeah, I'm playing this game. It's like, never. I never heard anyone. Like, the only time I've ever heard this game talked about ever was getting the Helldiver trophy in Astrobot's Playroom.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I was just like, what? That's, like, the one time I've ever seen it referenced anywhere. But
I think it was
it's
pretty
surprisingly
early.
still going.
I think it was pretty early on.
Well,
In terms of
PS3/PS4, so
yeah.
it must have been, you know, right at that console shift over where they were doing the dual release there.
Mm-hmm. But I forgot how complicated it was too.
Yeah, like, and there's a lot in the tutorials that you go through, and they're long tutorials too, talking about like you know, different types of movement, different types of reloading, different types. I mean, the fact that you have to do like button combos to do your calls, it's like when you're in the middle of a crazy firefight and you're like, okay, I just need to drop ammo. Okay, do this button combo. Like, yeah, it's at the bottom of the screen, but it's still like, you're like, oh my god. Other than that, I didn't really pay attention to the story other than I kind of liked its sort of tongue-in-cheek style. It's very, I think they talk about like Neo-America or something there, and I'm like, that's always a fun topic, you know.
So you pointed out a lot the like you could see the other players in their ships.
That was cool. Yeah, I love that where it's like you're in a ship, and then when you're being beamed down to Earth or whatever planet, you see just a huge lineup of all the other players' ships, the other hubs that are in the world at the time, and that's cool. I love that feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Anything else on it, or?
Not really. It's just a fun cooperative experience, and I'm glad to have got a chance to try it out.
Okay. I was going to ask what foreign exchange was your favorite, but it would of this year since it's the last podcast of the year. But I feel that would take a lot of time up. So.
I would probably say out of all the stuff, The Office. Because I've found myself just watching a lot of it in my spare time since.
Wasn't Breaking Bad this year?
It was, but at the same time, I feel like I need to suck up Breaking Bad. Like, I need to sit with it. Versus The Office I can just put on in the background and enjoy, you know?
Okay.
So I think, I've got more enjoyment out of The Office because it gave me the absolute best Quarantine plus Hyrule Warriors grinding material. And it's like, that combo just felt super, super great, right?
Cool. As for me, oh man, I'm bad at memorizing stuff on the spot.
Well, let's talk about first your exchange.
AVGN?
Yes.
Yes. So you gave me like a list of videos to watch.
Yes.
I watched them
do you
all.
have that list, or do you?
I think I do. I think it's
Yeah,
on my
because I gave a
docs.
very specific list. I think it's on my Google Drive. Of course, I put up this list and then I shared it with our Discord, and our Discord was like, "No, you missed this episode. No, you missed this episode." And so like it got changed. Okay, here we go. The AVGN episode list. I got it here.
Cool.
It changed a bunch of times. I'll just send it to you also so you can have it to talk about. It changed a couple times there. But that's just because things needed to be there. Things needed to leave. And yeah, so AVGN.
The Bugs Bunny one was like the highlight, I think. The Crazy
Oh,
Castle
yeah?
one. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Also,
Okay.
Plumbers Don't Wear Ties was wild.
Oh, right? Like
Yeah.
okay, so let's go through like each of them just for like if there's anything noteworthy or anything there. So the first one, which is like the original, was Castlevania 2.
Yeah. I could feel I felt like, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but like you like progressed it to like more modern.
They're literally in order of release.
Okay, well then I got.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's slowly more modern over time. Like, the first one, Castlevania 2, was like one of the very first ones. And then yeah, each one was a little bit of time from the next.
Yeah, I could definitely tell like why people like watching his stuff, because it feels comfy somehow. Like,
right? He's like a vulgar Scott the Woz.
Yeah, like it feels like you're in the room with him and like playing those shitty games.
Like his little basement area there. Like I've never been there, but I could close my eyes and picture every corner of it.
Really?
Like I can smell the wood paneling. I can like, I can feel the concrete floor. Like it is a place that I know better than some places that I've like worked,
I do like some of his videos, like the I think it was the game glitches and Earthbound that were more of a review of it. And like an anecdotal review of it too, which I really liked.
Because he has definitely different styles that he goes through, where some of them are just him, like, because it's funny because he doesn't even hate Castlevania 2 that much, but because it was one of his first videos, he kind of plays up how much he despises it. But like then there's the ones that are way more just like there's some newer ones that he's done. Some of the latest episodes where it's just him talking about systems and he's not even angry. He's just running through it. And it's just like a good retrospective on like the Atari Jaguar.
Okay.
And it's like, so there's definitely ones where he's more in character. And then there's ones where he's more just being himself and being informative. And both of those have their advantages. I think out of any YouTuber, this is the only one where YouTuber, I mean, his stuff wasn't even on YouTube for a long time. But he's the only one that the fake storylines I can actually enjoy. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like the Rob one, like where it takes over the world and he like.
So it's like most YouTubers, you look at that and you're like, oh, that's kind of cringe. But he was the first to really do that. And I feel like he does it the best.
Yeah, I'd say so.
One of my favorites is, I think he did a review of Street Fighter 2010, which is a game. Or is it Street Fighter 2020? There's a game called Street Fighter. Is it 2020? No, not 2020. 2010? Yeah, it's called Street Fighter 2010 The Final Fight, which is like, it's a weird game where you play as Ken in the future. And it's like a beat 'em up. It's bad. But he plays it where it's like he recorded it at the start of 2010, and it's like and he does this whole story about he woke up one day and I guess this is what 2010 is like. And there's like NES sprites everywhere, right? And it's like, I love that video. Oh, it's just, he's a comfy YouTuber for someone whose shtick is literally like, he'll rip out a game console and poop on it. Yeah,
some of that stuff was like, let's move on from this. Like,
yeah,
like the last like 30 seconds, I'm like, okay, we can move on. But some of the stuff was really funny. The part, or which one? The Mega Man one, I think. Where he went to like the previous versions of himself.
Yeah.
The way he did that was
traveled through time there.
The way he did that was pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, he's a movie guy. He loves making movies, and you can see that every now and then where you're like, oh yeah, you're a movie buff. We can see your directing come out. He has a side channel called Board James, where it's another character who reviews board games. And he did one for a board game called Mr. Bucket, whose famous line is, Mr. Bucket, put your balls in my mouth, Mr. Bucket. Because your whole point was like to scoop him, and then you put like the balls, and the balls kind of shoot out his mouth.
Yeah.
And he turned that into like a real horror movie because he's a horror movie buff.
Huh.
And it's a really good horror film for what is essentially a YouTube skit, right?
Interesting.
So, anything else? Do you remember a standout funny moment? Because there was one that I remember I put in this collection that absolutely killed me.
I know there was like one. It's like in my memory bank, but like I don't know the code to the vault.
For me, it's in the game glitches when he plays the Rocky game, and he gets the clubber fuck. Do you remember that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Again, I watched
AVGN.
these videos like 3 weeks ago. So
Yeah, you'll remember it when you see it. I'm looking at it right here. This here, I had such a bad laughing fit from that I had to stop watching and like pause.
oh yeah, that one.
and then his reaction of just dropping the controller.
Oh yeah, I do. Okay, I do remember that now.
Right? So it's
Those reactions where he just like drops the controller, like.
Oh, he's such a good like visual character actor too, right?
Yeah.
Like the emotions you see from him are like pure art. Like, yeah, like every face that he makes is art, and I love it, you know? AVGN reaction memes are some of my favorite ones because they're so powerful.
But yeah.
Okay.
Again, it's not like a game I played. It's more of a thing I watched. So.
A show that you watched, yeah.
But yeah.
But would you find yourself watching more?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't like
So-
go out of my way, but if it was in like a feed, I'd be like, okay, yeah sure.
I will say his more modern content is like the Earthbound. Like, it's way more like that sort of analytical style, more anecdotal, as you say. He almost never does the poo-poo farty sort of jokes anymore. He instead goes a lot more serious because like now he's like married with a kid. Like, it's
That's
wild.
weird. That's
Like
weird to think
literally,
about.
I know, right? He's like, and he's everything I've heard about from behind the scenes. He is one of the nicest content creators anyone has worked with. He's like the Guy Fieri of content creators, where it's like legitimately a wonderful person behind the scenes, and it's I love to hear those stories.
Cool.
Okay,
Alright. And
so
that's it.
that's it for that. Did you have a guess for what your favorite foreign exchange was for this year here?
Let me go to your playlist.
I'm just pulling that up here. My mind goes to Yakuza.
Oh yeah, probably Yakuza.
That's the one that I'm thinking of for you there, because I feel like
check.
you said you really wanted to get into that.
Yeah.
Maybe Weathering with You.
That one too.
That's another good one, but it's different, of course. It's different because of kind of how it's set up.
Which one was the first of the year?
The first of the year was
it
I don't have the
Orisuke?
dates.
Man, that felt like
that
so.
Orisuke was
Because 31 was 2019 Game of the Year cast, so I assume the next one was.
Yeah. So it's Komi. Komi's the first one. Yeah, so we had... Let me pull up the list here. So our year was... Because I'm going to take a look at mine as well. So we had...
That one was Fate. Oh, it's playing. Stop.
Yeah, so we had Komi, Can't Communicate, and Octodad Dadliest Catch. We had Hollow Knight and Pantheon Stalking. We had Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and One Piece. We had Breaking Bad and Mega Man ZX. VR Chat and Fate Zero. Pokemon Snap and Uncharted. Promare and Doom Eternal. SMT3 Nocturne and Crash Team Racing. Yakuza 0 and Papers, Please. Skullgirls and The Martian. Short Hike and Katawa Shoujo. Breaking Bad and Kadoa Shoujo EX, so the extra one, The Office and Weathering with You, and Phasmophobia / Overwatch and Genshin Impact.
Yeah, I'd probably say either Weathering with You or Yakuza. I think I'd lean more towards Yakuza.
That's a good game. That's a really good series.
I want to play through it eventually, but man, there's so little time.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Being an adult, it's like all the money, none of the time.
Yep.
It's how it be. Okay.
And we're not going to be doing a foreign exchange this week because I think
Christmas break plus lockdown plus,
I don't know when we'll be back, but we should
definitely
be back.
For me it'll be like, because I have a Christmas trip I'm going to be taking pretty soon.
Christmas trip
is going to be
where?
To the middle of a lake.
Oh, okay. All right, ice fishing.
Yeah. Yes.
Kai
so
must
that's
be incredibly excited.
She doesn't know about that yet. Part of her
really?
Christmas gift.
Oh,
she's not going to listen to this, so it's fine.
That's good.
But yeah, so that's it's gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy my time there, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit. We're gonna take a bit of a Christmas break, but before that, we still need to talk about one final topic.
Yes, of course.
Being our games of the year plus honorable mentions.
It's I was trying to think of a name for the segment because Shibby's was too easy and it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to shippies anything.
What about
that? Sounds like a DeviantArt sort of thing.
What about the boxies? Because like Parcel box?
No, because that deal, you don't know about Boxy. She was a girl on the internet. That's a whole thing. Oh, that's a whole thing.
What about the...
Dude, you thought VTubers were a thing? Boxy was the original VTuber.
Oh, no.
Except she was a real human, but simped just as much. I think 5 just games of the year is fine.
Yeah, I know, it was fine, but...
It only comes up, once a year, so it's not like it needs to be a full-blown everything.
Yeah.
So I think you said you had a bit of trouble coming up with a full 5, right?
Yeah, because most of I have 3 games in my honorable mentions since they were both from they were all from, earlier years, but, there were only, 3 big games. Well, one of the honorables was a game out this year, but I didn't finish it. But
okay,
there's only 3 games that I distinctly remember from this year that I played, and
all right.
Again, it's been a hell of a year.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And I haven't really had a lot of time to game this year, so I'm honestly trying to think where did all my time go. And it must have been towards Animal Crossing.
Catching up on some older games is, that was a lot of my year for sure, was going through and other stuff, because this was a good year for games, but not a massive one. I feel like a lot of stuff, the beginning was very loaded, and then as it went on, it kind of went down a bit till about the end where there's a little bit more, but there's a big mid section where there was nothing that I picked up and felt like...
I can't remember anything during the summer.
No, nothing during the summer.
Yeah. So, do you want to go first?
Sure. I have my 5. So, going from... honestly, I didn't think too much about the order. I just kind of did it in the order I felt like. So, whatever. But at number 5 was Kingdom Hearts Memory of Melody. Because I know it kind of just came out, but it was a really enjoyable time to help me go back through those memories of this series, while at the same time enjoying this music and listening to these great songs and enjoying them in kind of a new way, because it is a music rhythm game that has regular fighting mechanics, which is a lot of fun. So that's my number 5.
Cool.
Number 4 is Age of Calamity.
Sorry, stopping you. Do you have an honorable mention list? I thought you did.
I do have. I'm going to save it for the end.
Oh, okay.
I only have one honorable mention, because otherwise it'll be fate.
Well, I only have 3 to be. Cause there's the top 3 I have. I really couldn't think of the 2 others. Okay. But if I would have to pick ones, it'd be Miles Morales and Bugsnax.
Okay.
Because those are the games that really dived in. So.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to do then yours? One of your
No,
honorable
no,
mentions?
I'll start it through. Well, I can.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. We'll start at 3 then. Okay. My number 4 then was Age of Calamity because really enjoyable. I didn't finish it, but honestly, from what I played, like I played enough to be like, yeah, this is. I recognize where this would be on my list. I just have to see it stick the landing now, which from what I hear, it certainly does. Especially knowing the final playable character. Oh boy, I've not seen him in gameplay, but I'm real excited to get to them.
Oh man.
Oh boy, it's gonna be good. Number 3, slightly above it, controversial. Pirate Warriors 4.
Oh, interesting.
I do think I like Pirate Warriors 4 a bit more, and it comes down to I just feel like the character variety because Pirate Warriors 4 is still it's faster, and the variety of characters is so much more. Now, mind you, I haven't played as everyone because I played through the story and then I stopped and I'm waiting for the DLC to finish to then play through the adventure mode, if you will. And they just showed off the trailer for the final DLC character today, and oh my god, they look so brutally broken. It looks amazing. So I'm excited to now go back to that once that character's out to play the full experience because from what I heard, it added 9 characters for DLC. They added 0 levels, so there's no, like for my friend, for like Beat there, he beat the adventure mode fully, and then like he got the DLC characters, and there's nothing for him to play with them because he completed it, right? So I was like, I held off, which is I feel like the smarter thing for at least for that.
Well, that was the good thing about the Hyrule Warriors DLC that it came with like a giant loaded map,
stages,
right?
Yeah. It didn't do that.
So I hope. I know we're going back to Age of Calamity, but I hope like once DLC characters happen, they get their symbols on the map that you can do the side quests and all that.
Yeah. So. I wouldn't even mind if they added just like another province or something, right? Like a fake province to a direction that's like not accessible in Hyrule Warriors, but like, like by where the ocean is, they'll do an island where the'll be a set of missions there or something. Or like, so that it adds more, because otherwise like it's pretty cramped already. So I want them to maybe just add like another little section or something.
Yeah, you haven't even unlocked everyone. There's even more.
That's true.
So.
I know.
All right.
So it's my number 3. What's your number 3?
It's gotta be Doom Eternal, I think.
All right.
It's definitely came out the same day as another game I'm going to talk about, obviously, but it's I think it like improved way more, like in terms of story. It added like way more context to that universe, which makes me excited for like the future of the series. Music was phenomenal. I think it's better than Doom 2016 soundtrack. The levels, like it's way more of a platforming game than the original Doom, like any Doom game, but like even you played it, but like it's, I think it's like one of the best shooters I've ever played, honestly.
It's fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, that's what you need a shooter to be. Fun.
Yeah.
All right, your number 2.
My number 2 is Sakura Wars, the new one, the remake there. Well, not remake, the reboot, soft reboot. It's not perfect, and in my eyes, out of the 3 Sakura Wars games that I played, it's probably the lowest of the 3 I've played. However, I think it's a great base that I cannot wait for Sakura Wars 2, like the new franchise or whatever they're going to call it, because there's some good foundations laid down. It's just a case of now like sticking it for the sequel. It's sort of like, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. The first movie is all those introductions, and you only get a little bit of time with the crew, right? I want now the sequel where the crew's together, and now you can, have those moments of characterization and everything. I mean, there is a anime that is a sequel, but I want a game where you have all that stuff, because I feel like they didn't go all the way with the gameplay, which I mean, you'd think would be that'd be a big no-no, but I mean, half the game's also a visual novel. So the visual novel half was really good, but I just want the gameplay to have a semblance of difficulty because there was never once when I felt like I was having trouble with it, like at all. Like there was never a challenge, which is like, maybe I'm just too good of a gamer. But everything else, the world, the graphics, the music was really, really good. It just needed a bit more time in the oven with the gameplay, I feel. And longer stages. I feel like the stages were just like they were over before they meant anything. But otherwise, the game's awesome. I loved it.
Cool.
Your number 2?
Man. I'm thinking about it, and it's like when I say one, the other is going to be an obvious.
Okay.
So I'm like thinking about it, right?
You can't say Overwatch.
Why?
Are you wait? Are you for real?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Whew.
I like.
Just go with what you wrote down.
I didn't write it down though.
Oh no! Oh, you are crazy. I need to write that stuff down, or I'll die. Oh. Flip a coin in your head.
That's impossible.
How does that work?
Like how
does
would
that
I even
work?
determine? But that's like. So I spent 7 hours the other weekend playing Hyrule Warriors straight. 7 hours straight, right?
Oh yeah.
And usually that means I like the game, right? But I played Animal Crossing New Horizons for close to 500 hours since launch, right? So I'm trying to get rid of the recency bias. Or like, maybe I'm pretending to have a recency bias, but I think I'm going to put... I think I'm going to put... Oh, it's... Because like after these, I'm like, okay, this is like I can't change this in my head, right?
I mean, it's a nothing list.
I know, but like...
It affects no one but you.
I think I'm going to have to put New Horizons at number 2.
All right.
Because while that game came out at literally the perfect time, not only for the world, but for me.
Yes.
Because it came at the tail end of probably one of the worst weeks of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing like Animal Crossing again almost made me fucking cry. Because it was like, oh my god, this is like so awesome. And like, but I think because of just like the way it's structured and the way it's like getting the content, it doesn't feel as magical as the other ones. It feels... Someone summarized it a lot perfectly because it feels like a decorating simulator instead of like an actual Animal Crossing game.
Yes, yeah, it definitely feels closer to the Happy Home Designer than like Animal Crossing 1,
and as like
right?
Someone who loves interior design and like all that like decorating shit, I love it for that. But I also remember like the villagers and like from other games and how integrated relationships you can get with them and like all the stories you can make in your head. Like with this, I feel like there's like no way to do that and all that. And like with the recent events, it just doesn't have the same feel. But at the same time, it's like I didn't put 500 hours into this game for nothing, right? Like I still I still love all the innovations it did. I still love like the outside decorating, like the just the overhaul graphics and like everything. But there's just some key elements of it that were weaker and which made it number 2 on the list.
Fair enough.
So, what's your number 1?
I feel like this
The
one
Last
is
of
pretty
Us
obvious.
Part 2.
No. I feel like you could guess what this one is.
Could I?
Yeah. I talked about it a lot.
Today?
We talked about it a lot.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, you already said Kingdom Hearts. Oh, of course. Okay, so before you go into that, I think
Yes.
the reason why I don't have many picks is because I missed like all the 2020 releases. Like I missed Ghost of Tsushima, I missed Final Fantasy VII Remake, I missed like just these giant ass games that like I could have played. But go ahead.
Final Fantasy VII Remake. It is outstanding. It is a game that knows that you've played Final Fantasy VII, probably, and it plays with what your ideas of what a remake should be in both literal and more kind of like gameplay sort of ideas. Stuff that you'd say, I don't know how they could ever remake that. They do. Stuff that people were like, there's no way they're going to include Hell House, the random house that attacks you as an enemy in one of the areas. It is a house. It is a house. Like it is literally a house that you fight, and it's a random enemy, and people are like, there's no way that's going to be in. Everything is in.
That's awesome.
Mind you, some of them are in different ways. For example, there's more boss fights, but some of those boss fights were irregular encounters in the original game, turned into huge boss fights. The gameplay is... Anyone who thinks that it is an action game, I disagree with, because you spend more time in the menus than you do button mashing. It is such an interesting gameplay style that totally melds action and turn-based in a wonderful way. And there's more replay value than you would expect.
Really?
There's a whole section of the game there's a whole like large amount that's, hey, beat the game and then play through it on hard mode. And hard mode is a whole different game pretty much, because you can't use healing items and you have to come up with new ways to heal. And boss fights get new mechanics and there's new boss fights. And it's like, I haven't even played through hard mode yet, but it's like I'm going to definitely before the second game comes out, because there's a whole new stuff there. It's really cool. And the story is... They took what a lot of people thought was the story of the original, because the original's Final Fantasy VII story is kind of weirdly written. You can't really tell what's going on all the time. It's a bit weird and mysterious. They clarified a lot, but added their own new mysteries. But I think the big thing is that the characters are believable. Every character that is in this game is one that you understand why they are and who they are, and you love all of them. Especially like when you hear Aerith swear for the first time, you're like, oh, that's who you are. And you realize the fans have had it wrong all this time. Like when you play 7, you realize Tifa is the girly girl and Aerith is the brash tomboyish one. And when you play it, you know that. But then the fans just went, well, I mean, look at them. Of course they're going to be the other way around. And it's like, no. In this, you get that 100%. And the really cool thing is I got the Final Fantasy VII novels, and I've been reading them. They take all the stuff from the novels, which were made around the time of Advent Children, and just put it into the plot. Like, it's there. All that background side lore, it's in the game now. So, like... It is such a living world that I love it so much, and I haven't even left Midgar. I am so excited to see the rest of it.
In 2034.
I don't think so, because the big part was getting the gameplay and everything, and like they have that now. Now it's just, and I think they even said they're thinking of doing it smaller the next one. So, like, they can get it out quicker.
Would you want that, though?
What's that?
Would you want that, though?
I'd be fine with them doing it, you know, like, because a lot of people thought they're going to do it in like 3 discs. And it's like, there's no way. If this has to end up being a 5-game series or something, but it's like, but they're smaller so they can come out faster, I'm fine with that. Because
But $80
there's
a pop.
That's the thing.
It's going to be 90.
If they'll all
It's going to be
80.
90 now.
I don't know if they'll all be that much, but even still, I'd be fine with that because there's enough side content that I wouldn't mind it. Like, there's enough side content in the 7 remake that it is a longer game than the original.
Well, I was just thinking of, like, I don't know if you remember, like, the PS3 Ratchet and Clank games. Like, there was a trilogy of games, right?
Yeah.
And the first and the third were, like, main games, but the second was like a condensed digital game. Do you think they'll go that route?
So I think it might be something like that, except not digital only. I think they'd still do a disc release, but it might be a more of a budget title for maybe a shorter game. You know, like maybe a 15-hour game about the next section. Heck, they might even allow it to be released as like, I wouldn't want to say DLC, but just like a small, like if you have 7 remake, maybe it'll just like you can get a version that's like attached to the main menu or something to transfer your save data over or something. Because I mean, there's a hard level limit in the 7 remake too. I think it's like level like 35. Like once you hit that, you stop leveling up.
Really?
So it's like, so maybe the game will expect you to be around that level, you know, once you come out of there. But it's incredible. The music's great, and I am so happy that we have a chance of it actually appearing in Smash now. Just any content from it, with Sephiroth bringing some more 7 content in.
I don't think remake stuff will make it in, though.
I could see music at least. At least the music.
You're really optimistic.
I am.
For that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Well, you probably know what my number 1 is.
Mm-hmm. The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes. I put it back. I can go get it.
That's okay. You don't have to.
Okay. No, but for real, I think...
Okay, can I just say, it's absolutely wild that that's not even on your list at all.
I mean, like, when I was thinking of it, I completely forgot about it. Like, when I was thinking of the Game of the Year list, I completely forgot about it.
That's how it be.
So... I can respect it for some things, but like it's not something I can like say was up there for me. Mm-hmm. What was up there for me was a game that's right there.
I see your poster. You're pointing at it.
There.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I think. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Blubber, listener of the podcast. Hi, Blubber. I'm like, this is probably very typical of me, but like, this is probably my game of the year. And he's like, yeah, it's typical. But, like, I just think it's, like, I don't play many Warriors games, so I don't have, like, the pool of, like, of the games you do. But, like, I think just the gameplay of it is just so fun. And, like, for me at least, just so, like, the repeats of it is just so fun for me that, like, I just can't get enough. And, like,
do you know, I forgot to ask you about this. Have you discovered the best way to aim with Link's bow and arrow?
No.
Backflip, and then immediately after you backflip, do the bow and arrow, and you get slowdown time.
Really?
Yeah, because like literally, when you do the backflip with him, if you backflip into bow and arrow, you're instantly in the air in bullet time doing the aiming. So like whenever I'm doing a boss fight, it's like, is the enemy's head visible? Backflip, bow and arrow, aim at their head, shoot. It's like, when I discovered that tech, I'm like, I love this game.
Did you know about the Magnesis Council?
No, yes, I knew about that one. Yeah. That's where you, because if a character has like a press Y to attack, you can just dash and fill it up yourself, right?
No.
Oh, what's this then?
Like when there's an attack coming at you that you like, you think you think it's going to hit you, just summon, just do the Magnesis, and it does the animation and makes you invincible for that like split second, and you can repeat it like one right after another, since it's like so since it doesn't actually do anything if it doesn't attach to something, so it's like it just does the animation and you're invincible for that bit and then it goes back. So
Okay, I didn't know about that one. But that's the thing, there's like hidden tech in this, which
it's
isn't
like
in
weird.
It's not in the other Warriors games.
And like I love it for that, because it's like it's so condensed, because like this is like pretty much the second Warriors game I played, and like the first one was so like blocky and like I still love it, but
it's a classic Warriors game, for better and for worse.
But I love like all the natural maps and like just like everything just feels natural, and it feels more like Breath of the Wild than Hyrule Warriors. I mean, like a Warriors game, but at the same time, it's like it takes the two elements and melts them so perfectly. And like, and again, you haven't even gotten to the part of my favorite part of the game, which is like near like the finale of it. It's just like it's so incredible, and the characters are all varied. Like
that's the thing. Every character is really different, and like even characters with similar weapons, because you start to, there's a second set of them that you're like, oh, are these just going to be like reskins? And you're like, no, they are not.
No, I'd say one of them is more fun than the other one.
There's I would say almost every one of the second half are more fun.
Like this one.
Okay, I see your imagery.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, the music's also like it doesn't remix the songs as much as the original Hyrule Warriors, but like it adds that oomph. Like the Battle of Hyrule Field, which is just a remix of the battle theme. Yeah. It goes so hard that like it's just so good. But yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's my game of the year.
That is understandable why that's so good, and I hope that we get more content for it. Because I feel like there's a lot left untapped that would be a lot of fun.
I think you told me that someone told me that Koei Tecmo never doesn't do DLC. Like they at least do like a pack of it.
Yeah,
and like if they did it for like the original Hyrule Warriors, I don't see why they wouldn't.
The only one that they didn't do it for was Persona, actually.
Really?
Aside from the you could get other battle themes from other Persona games, which is part of the digital deluxe version coming to the West. Okay. So like there's like that, and then there wasn't much else as far as I was aware. But who knows? They can always, because they announced the DLC for the original Hyrule Warriors way after the game was out.
Did they?
Because it not only has it been out in Japan for a long time, but it was post US release. So and Japan got it way like months and months and months before. So it's like, they announced it way later, so it's always a possibility. Look at Cadence of Hyrule. Look how when it got its DLC announced. Like it was like out of nowhere way later. So I think we'll just see it in a random direct one day where they'll just be like, coming up next, some new content for Hyrule Warriors fans.
I was kind of half expecting it to be at like the Game Awards.
I didn't think it'd be that soon.
Oh, probably early next year sometime.
I mean, the fact that they haven't officially announced half the cast in the game already. So
yeah, you're right.
I don't think they'll do the DLC just yet.
Did you want to hear the rumors I heard?
Sure, go ahead.
You think I should say it here? Or?
I think it's fine. I think if we're almost done the podcast, so if you don't want to hear the rumors, then bye. But otherwise, what's your rumors?
I heard it's going to be Beetle, Lana and Sia in Breath of the Wild style, and then Ganondorf. The Ganondorf one's unique because I feel like it's going to be like a cross promotion with Breath of the Wild 2.
Huh.
Because I feel like that's close.
Yeah, I've never heard. I didn't hear that rumor. I heard of who was data mined in the game.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to know who that is?
They're all on the character select screen. Not on character, like the gallery menu.
Oh yeah.
They're all on the menu there, but they don't have like the symbols that the other characters do. They just have like a basic head. So
really?
Yeah, it's pretty much like it's right there. They have the art and everything.
And who is that?
It's Astor.
Yes.
Suga.
Yeah.
And the two scientists.
Purr and Robbie.
Per and Robbie.
Yeah, so those are the ones that were data mined there. So I could see them being a free update because half of them are already in the game, but maybe not. But if that's who it is, Beetle's interesting. I always said Lana and Sia.
I also heard Cass.
Yeah, Cass is one I could see. Lana and Sia. I always said like there might be a Hyrule Warriors character, like an original that they could bring back as a thing. So like I could see Lana for sure. Sia maybe not so much, but I could definitely see Lana at least, or maybe both them together in a moveset or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ganondorf as a tie-in. I haven't seen all the playable characters, how they look in the base Hyrule Warriors, so I don't have a comment on that just yet.
Man. I haven't unlocked them yet either, but like I've seen gameplay.
I haven't. I have not seen anything.
It's wild.
Oh boy, I'm excited. Okay. Well, that is our games of the year. Anything just off the bat that we're looking forward to for next year?
Next year? Oh man.
I need to Google 2021 game releases.
I mean, there's like what came to mind right away was Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, that's a good one. Here, I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can take a look. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. Okay, Scott Pilgrim, of course. That's what I'm excited to pick up again. Ooh, Disgaea 6. That one's for me. Let's see here. Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Still, there was a trailer for that at the Game Awards that showed zero new footage. So,
so I wonder why they're like hiding it so much.
I don't know. We're gonna have to see.
Persona 5 Strikers, of course.
Of course. Bravely Default 2. The updated version of Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Well, it gives you more time.
The PS5 version, yeah. It's not out on PS5 yet. And I'm not going to start it till the PS5 version. Once the PS5 version comes out, I'll just put in my PS4 disc and I get it, but I have to wait anyways.
Okay. Returnal has me interested.
Which one?
Returnal? Like the space... Okay, so there was a trailer for this game at the Game Awards, and you know how they started it?
How?
By the woman going through like a wooden door that looked exactly like PT.
Oh, really?
So, but get this, like the actual YouTube version of the trailer didn't have that bit. So that was an obvious like reference, or like a little tease. So I feel that Silent Hill thing is like going to be real.
I'm trying to see here if there's any footage of that door.
Just type in Game Awards, right there. Like, look how...
Oh, yeah.
That looks exactly like it, right?
That looks a lot like PT. You're super right. Who's making Returnal?
It's a first-party studio. I'm not sure. I think... I'm not sure who it is. But yeah, it was definitely designed... It was definitely, like, a little tease for it.
Housemarque.
Housemarque,
it's published by Sony. Housemarque. What did they do? Oh, they are weird.
They made another game that was pretty popular that came out early PS...
Super Stardust.
Super Stardust, yeah.
Huh. Interesting. Well,
and Matterfall.
We'll have to see.
Matterfall as well.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. Monster Hunter, as we said before. Guilty Gear and Nier Replicant are both ones I'm excited for.
There was a trailer for Nier there too, I forgot.
Yep, it looks real good. Now we have unscheduled. 30XX. I'm excited for that. Let's see here. What else? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Excited for that. That's the new Jet Set Radio-like game. Hopefully it'll be good, unlike Jet Set Radio, because I don't really like playing that game, actually. Weird that Cyberpunk is on here as a 2021 game, but I guess the PS5 version isn't out. Yeah, where's Digimon Survive? I hope that comes out, because I was excited for that. It's Digimon Fire Emblem. Let's see here. Ghostwire Tokyo. I'm personally not super into it, but I think there's some neat stuff there.
God of War 2.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Oh my god. 2021 and I see Grand Theft Auto 5 is finally coming out. Amazing. Halo Infinite. Excited for that.
Horizon Forbidden West. Still have to play the first one.
I'm going to see how the new Dragon Quest Adventure of Dai game is, because I think it's kind of cool they're making a Dragon Quest action game, but I'm going to have to see about that because, I don't know, it looks kind of bad from what I've seen so far, but who knows, it might get good. A Monster Hunter Stories 2. Definitely going to pick that one up. Neo, The World Ends With You. I don't think we even talked about that.
No, we didn't.
That was in between parts, but oh man, that's going to be good. It looks like Persona, doesn't it? No More Heroes 3. I still need to play through 1 and 2, even though I have them on my Switch. Puyo Tetris 2. Oh, for Windows. I was going to say, like, I could buy that right now.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
But I think, like, number 1 would be Monster Hunter that I'm looking forward to the most.
SMT5. That's one I'm excited for. The 3 Nocturne remaster, I hear, is not the best in terms of being a remaster, but I'm still probably going to pick it up and play it, even if it has bad frame rates. But it's like, who cares about frame rates in this game at all? Like, it really doesn't matter, like, out of anything. But SMT5 I'm excited for. Let's see here. Just about down the list.
Yeah.
That's about it. And the Uncharted movie, of course. We'll see how that is. All right. Well, I think we're both waning in in our sanity here because
it's late.
Getting to the end of the day. Whoop. I almost thought I killed the stream because when I stopped the share screen, it was like, how was your stream? And I'm like, I thought we're still going though. So yes. We will see you all when our next episode is. We'll be planning it kind of behind the scenes. It'll probably shadow drop whenever. And you know what? I think that's fine. I think for all of our sanity, let's make no plans until COVID is over. Let's just let things happen.
We'll come back stronger sometime at some point.
Oh yes,
but
stronger, probably injected with some powerful serum. Free from the government. God bless
just remind
Canada.
me of some Game of Thrones meme that I'm going to send to you right now.
See, that's weird because Game of Thrones has such left the public mind space.
I was talking about that with Blubber too, about how like it's completely gone.
It's gone.
No one talks about it.
No more references. No, I when George R. Martin drops the next book, no one's gonna care. It will be gone from our worldview.
I just sent it to you on Discord.
Bill Gates, not me just having taken the vaccine. It's Bill Gates smiling, and it's a fat kid with his eyes curled back. Love it. Awesome. Thank you. I described that for everyone. Man, those conspiracy people, they're so wacky. Do you know what else, though, I realized?
But I feel that it's smart to wait like a little... I'm glad that the ICU people are getting it first.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, but I'm also be like... Well, because of the allergies thing. I'm glad that's coming to light. And just see like what these side effects are before they become widely available. Because like I don't want the human race to turn into zombies or whatever. I'm not anti-vax at all.
It'll never be that bad. Like... Because, I mean, all it is just giving you a small strain of it that is safe for you to take so your body gets the antibodies.
Isn't this one doesn't have any in it? Like, there was a vaccine that didn't have any COVID in it.
Well, so, yeah, because what it is, like, your body is given a shape that the antibodies can copy, and so the shape just has to be the same as the virus's shape. It doesn't have to be the virus. I mean, most of the time they just give the virus a little bit of it, just so that your body knows what it is. But if it's too bad, like the COVID there, they basically have to reverse engineer what the shape of COVID is so that the body can create the antibodies that can fight off that shape of virus.
Okay.
Like shape is the general term. It's more than just that, but that's the best way to think about it. So yeah, it's although it does get me thinking about, I saw someone say something like, I don't care how important it is I get the COVID shot, I'm too scared of needles. And I'm like, are you for real? That's what you're at? You will not get this life-saving thing because you are a grown adult. And you're saying you're afraid of a needle? Like, I don't like needles.
Who does?
But if I need one, it's like, I'll take it. And I mean, the worst I've ever had was getting an IV put in me. That was a hell experience I never want to have again. So you know what? If I need a small needle, gimme. I can do it.
Well, I don't think we're going to get it till like mid or like spring of next year anyway, so.
What? No, God, no. It's close.
No. I mean like when general public.
Oh, I get it sooner because I'm a teacher though. So.
Yeah.
Teachers get it a bit earlier.
Can you sneak me one?
Sadly, no.
Damn.
Yeah, because the teachers are pretty high up because, you know, the government is still shoving us in classrooms with
well, at least
kids.
At least you get it sooner then.
Yeah. Yep.
What was I going to say? I forgot.
That's fine. Well, I think that's time then for us to say our goodbyes. So, what I will say, though, is, you know, Adrian, it might be a good idea to maybe one of these days just stop on by and let me know so I can pass off a Christmas gift to you.
Oh.
Just letting you know.
I literally passed your house today. I have to go get gas.
When you get yours ready, just give me a ring-a-ling, and I have mine ready. It's up on the counter.
I need you to tell me what you want.
I put my Amazon wish list is on Facebook.
That's so generalized, though.
What? What do you mean generalized?
Like, I don't even know.
It's so niche. Everything on my Facebook there is it's so hilariously niche that it's like you're not going to.
I'm just looking at this stupid meme on Facebook.
Which one? Is it one I posted or is it one that it's on yours?
It's on mine.
See, I'm laughing at the thing I saw of the parade with racist Tanner. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, you did. So I was watching a live stream of people watching like old parades, and they're watching this one from Disneyland, which was like meant to be like all the countries of the world, except they like brought out super stereotypical people in Chinese clothing doing Chinese accents to represent China, and the commenters were like, "Oh, there goes Tanner. He's incredibly knowledgeable about the Chinese. Oh, don't say that, Tanner." And I was just like dying laughing because it was in the background there. It was so freaking funny.
You have to send me your Amazon wish list then.
Oh, it's right here. I'll throw it into the chat and you'll look at it and you'll go, well, geez, there's sure a lot. Okay, just don't worry. Some of them are expensive. That just because I put those on there for my family. Don't worry about the stuff like that. But take a look. It's all there. Like I said, I have yours. Feel free to come on down and get the present, and I'm sure you will post your reaction on Twitter.
I didn't even give you any ideas, so I'm wondering what it is.
Stuff that I think you would enjoy.
Okay. Which one of these would you want the most?
What? See, I'd say surprise me, but I know that people hate that. I guess I kind of really want like Rune Factory. Feeling that farming mood.
Where is it? I don't even see it. Oh, right there.
Yeah, getting in that farming mood, yo.
Oh, it's like a package and everything.
Oh yeah, that's the only physical version of it.
Ah. All right.
Well, now I know what I'm getting.
I'll let you. Well, you don't know that yet.
That's true. You
Well-
can still look through and decide on something else. That's always a choice.
I'll let you know when I drive by or inconvenient location, because I am in town now, so.
Sounds good. And even if I'm not here, I'm sure someone will be to
It's
give
wrapped,
you the
right?
gift if need be. It is. It's wrapped. It's
Okay.
upstairs. It's ready to go.
Cool. I need to keep Facebook open and look at that meme more. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's say adieu to our listeners, and we'll see you all in the new year.
Better year, hopefully.
Hopefully. Can't get any worse.
It can, probably.
I totally can. All right. We'll see you guys next time then for some more Ships Worldwide. Ciao.
Merry Christmas.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. He'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in his ear. He'd rather eat the rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd. When you turn on your TV, make sure it's tuned to Channel 3. He's got a nerdy shirt and a pocket pouch, although I've never seen him write anything down. He's got a power glove and a filthy mouth. Armed with his zapper, he will tear these games down. He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry Atari Sega nerd. He's the angry video game nerd. He plays the worst games of all time. Horrible abominations of mankind. They make him so mad he could spit or say cowabunga. Cow a fucking piece of dog shit. They rip you off and don't care one bit. But this nerd, he doesn't forget it. Why can't a turtle swim? Why can't I land the plane? They got a quick buck for this shitload of fuck. The characters' names are wrong. Why is the password so long? Why don't the weapons do anything? He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard. The game sucks so bad he makes up his own words. He's the angriest, most pissed off gaming nerd. He's the angry Atari, Amiga, CDI, ColecoVision, and Television, Sega, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx, 16, Odyssey, 3DO, Commodore, Nintendo nerd. He's the angry video game nerd.